Why are all these people so happy? Because they just got their business online with TMS Plus Digital Marketing. Get online with essential digital marketing services for local businesses. And feel like they do. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus.
Good evening and welcome to Bob Wine Field here in Lucas. Tonight it is week 3 of the high school football season and one everybody's talking about as two small school powerhouses collide as the 2-0 Lucas Cubs play their home opener as they take on the 1-1 Wynford Royals. Welcome inside the Wendy's broadcast booth, everybody. Aaron Hines, my partner Eric Will, teaming up tonight with our good friends at the OH Report. Bob Wine Field in a dandy of a night. And how about this? The last 10 years, Eric Will, the Cubs have been flat out dominant. The last 20 to 25 years, Wynford's been dominant. How about these two getting on the schedule?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about just up here a few moments ago. This is a type of gathering and atmosphere in these two teams. This needs to happen every year. These have been the two premier small schools. And I don't even like using the word small school. They're just the premier brands that we have in Richland and Crawford County coming together in this game tonight. It's awesome. It's great for the fans. Beautiful setting. Tonight should be a darn good one here.
And I'll tell you what, these two former league foes in the NCC back in my school days, in the 90s toward 2000, and they meet, of course, used to play in the North Central Conference. But let's talk about the matchup tonight. We mentioned so much excitement, the run Lucas has been on, regional title, talking about state semifinal, state championship game for Wynford. At one point, a 50-some game regular season winning streak. They won 77 of 78, something like that over a stretch. I mean, it's incredible what these two programs have done consistently. It's the bar everybody else wants to reach.
Yeah, absolutely. And both of them are headed up by great coaches that are leading the program, which are setting cultures. Aaron, what do I always talk about? Culture, talent, scheme, right? Those are my three things. Well, all of those check out at these two schools. They both do it a little bit differently. Wynford's going to run the football, but there is a little bit of a pass to it. Whereas we know the Lucas Cubs, they want to run the football. They want to run it offense where they're getting 2 or 3 guys the ball the lion's share of the time, or in this situation, the Cubs share of the time. And, everybody uses RPOs, right? Run, pass, option. Well, down here it's running people over, and that's what Lucas wants to do.
They awarded Eric Will a sign last year that I believe
still have it. It's in my garage.
All right, in the garage.
It's in my garage.
All right, good deal. We are 7 minutes away from kickoff tonight. WMAN, the high school football game of the week, again teaming up with the OH Report this evening. Wynford 1-1 under 10th-year head coach Gabe Halbert, who's been at the school overall for 18 years. We talk about them, and you mentioned the one thing about Wynford, they'll run, but they want to throw some as well. But the thing about this Wynford team, and what we haven't seen, they've struggled on offense.
Yeah, this has been kind of an abnormal year for them. they've also, some of that could also be who they're playing. We know they bounced back last week playing Pleasant, which was a nice win. They played a state power week 1 that's going to have a chance to probably get back to a state championship type situation. But for Wynford, this is kind of unfamiliar territory for them. They're 1-1. You know, a lot of schools would probably like to be 1-1, but the way that they've gone about it is kind of unfamiliar. So one of our keys to the game is, will Wynford continue to find that offense? I believe, Aaron, you said coming in 172 yards a game.
178 on average through 2 weeks.
Yeah, 178 yards on average through 2 weeks. That's very un-Wynford. Now, the good news is their defense has held water here a little bit. So we'll see tonight if they can kind of get that offense going. But I do know Gabe Helbert. He is a great coach, and he's going to be as balanced as he possibly can tonight with that run pass, because he likes to run his quarterback too.
And that's the name I was going to bring up, Kobe Allen, the quarterback, will have his hand in everything tonight for the Wynford Royals. You mentioned them on defense. The guy to watch out for that we were told is switching jersey numbers tonight is their leader on defense. He's their middle linebacker, Brian Crabtree. What I like about him is 24 tackles through 2 weeks, but what I like even more, almost half of those are solo.
Absolutely, which means he's getting to the ball, he's making plays in space and getting people down by himself. And then focusing, looking back over to Lucas, we're talking about Brian Crabtree switching numbers, going to 87 from 50. Well, the exact same things on the other side for the Lucas Cubs with number 6, Corbin Toms. He is all over the field for the Lucas Cubs.
And the Cubs are 2-0 on the year, coming off a win a week ago, and they had to hang on at the end. They defeated Hillsdale 14-12. The thing about this Lucas team, they've been in these kind of games.
Yes.
They've really, really been a team that over, you and I watching this team, following this team on these runs, they've been in these really, really tight games where they know how to win. They don't panic. As you say, they don't flinch.
Right, and because they've been the most consistent team probably the last 5 to 7 years, I would say that the way that they run their offense, the way that they run their defense, I don't think anybody in the area has a better understanding of who they are as a team and what they're trying to get accomplished. Because, Aaron, your philosophies have to match. Lucas, their philosophies match. Their run game and their defensive presence match up perfectly, which is why they've been so successful. And here's the thing about Lucas that I love. Every one of their kids know their role.
All right, we'll pause now for the playing of tonight's national anthem. High school football tonight, live from Cub Country here in Lucas. Bob Wynfield, Aaron Hines, Eric Will, WMAN, and the high school football game of the week. It is powered by Stone Ridge in Lexington, where teamwork is one of their top core values. You can join their team at stoneridge.com/careers. All right, let's talk a little more about the Lucas Cubs. We mentioned 2-0. Couple injuries. Number one, and this is very unfortunate, Logan Toms injured a week ago, and he's going to be out. The other injury they've been dealing with is their starting quarterback, Andrew Smolin, who's not been available. But Corbin Toms, you mentioned him. He's been so key because he's a kid who can play anywhere for you. He stepped in, and they've been able to move the football.
Right, and last week, like you were saying, there was some type of an injury there. We didn't necessarily get a lot of the details on that, so we're not going to even dive into that. But now we're looking at moving forward. Who are going to be the guys when there's an injury or there's something that takes someone out of a game, Aaron? What happens is all you others, all you others have to step up and make plays on both sides of the ball, because at a place like Lucas, you're probably going to have 13 guys playing 11 positions. Man, and this place is rocking, man. We got fireworks going off. We've got, I mean, like, we're right here. I mean, if you people could see where we're at, we call it the tree house. We're up here in the tree house. Brian Skoronsky last year coined the term, the tree house, and it fits perfectly. But I'll tell you what, there's just a tremendous energy in this place right now. And you can tell it's because you've got two great programs over the last 10, 15 years that are trying to continue enrolling that momentum. Because you realize if you get a win tonight, Aaron, you can win a whole bunch of football games. That's also playoff positioning at stake tonight.
Tell you what, with the crowd that's filing in, going to be a big crowd. The weather is ideal.
Perfect.
The music they play, the fireworks, two small school powers. Could it be any better for week 3?
No, it couldn't. I mean, I think we were talking of getting the fireworks going.
I think this is the finale.
Oh, my goodness, this is fantastic. I feel like I'm at Disney World, man. I mean, it's like, there's not even no win. You get probably 2 Friday nights a year like this. Like, this is exactly, humidity's low, temperature's perfect. The players are ready to go. These are the type of nights that you remember, these atmospheres. These players are kind of geeked up right now and ready to go. But, I always say this, a pregame speech has never, ever, ever won a game. What wins games are execution, scouting reports, attention to detail, and fundamentals. That's what wins talent-equated football games. They both want to go about it a little bit differently tonight, and both are really good at what they do, and both of them have questions that need answered tonight, Aaron.
I'll tell you what, we are ready to roll. Lucas will receive the football here tonight. Wynford in the traveling white jerseys, blue numerals, silver helmet, the Wynford W on the side. Lucas, black jerseys. Love the orange helmets,
yes.
Orange numerals as well. I'll tell you a story. You know this as well. I'm from Crawford County. I went to Buckeye Central. We beat Wynford in nothing, just to let you know. They have been so good. When I was in school, it was Wynford. That was the pinnacle, and it still continues to this day.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Like you said, when you were growing up, I know we played them in basketball, and they were always tough in basketball.
Oh, man. We are ready to roll here tonight, as it'll be Trent Green to kick things off for Wynford. A little short kick. Is going to check up at about the 30-yard line. Lucas with a return. There's a bit of a crease across the 40 near midfield, and that is where the return man will go down as the Lucas Cubs get a short kickoff, and it was Aiden Culler on the return, and the Lucas Cubs will start with dynamite field position. Where are they going to put it? Right on midfield.
Yeah, it looks right on that
49.
Yep,
49.
Minus 49. So here we go. Corbin Thompson company out here leaning behind that offensive line. They're going to want to run the ball early, often, and every play, Aaron. So if the ball's in the air, it's probably not going to be on their terms.
All right, as Eric mentioned, the Cubs in that unique offense. We'll talk about that as the night goes on. 1st and 10. They'll pitch the football. First man through, going to squirt his way for a couple of yards into into Wynford territory. Down near the 45-yard line. Andrew Finella was on the carry, and give him about 5 yards as the Cubs with a nice carry. Eric, 2nd down, 5 yards to go, just underway. Talk about the uniqueness of preparing for this Lucas offense from the defensive side.
Right, it's foot-to-foot splits, very little gaps, which means you have to push back on the play side. If you don't gain leverage, you're in trouble.
They'll pitch it to Grant Barrett. Grant Barrett like a bowling ball, bouncing off people. He'll go down and is going to get the first down at the Wynford 40-yard line. First guy on the stop was Owen Whitmire, the strong safety, coming up to make the stop, but not after the Cubs roll for a Home and Kitchen Supply first down, 2 plays. And they move the chains, and that's what the Cubbies like. Couple of plays running downhill.
Well, and this is like a death by 1,000 cuts, man. That's what this is. Lucas, I mean, if they get a big one, that's great, but that's what they stay on schedule. And in this offense, look, Aaron, all 11 guys are in the box.
Lucas, 1st and 10 from the Wynford 40-yard line, and somebody for Wynford jumped across. It was one of the guys on the defensive line. I believe the guy was Tyler Binder. The defensive tackle jumped into the neutral zone, just trying to get that extra head start.
Right, and what I'm talking about by this is you've got to be able to win some one-on-one matchups on the defensive line, meaning you cannot either stalemate or get pushed back. You have to drive this offense back.
1st and 5 from the Wynford 35-yard line. They'll pitch it to Grant Barrett, right side, breaks the tackle inside the 30. He'll be dragged to the turf and around the 26-yard line. And again, the Lucas Cubs, whether they pitch it right, they pitch it left, they go up the middle, they just keep pounding it at you and slowly keep moving that baby down the field.
Well,
First and
good
5
luck
from the Wynford
practicing
35-yard line.
Your
They'll pitch it to
scout
Grant
team is
Barrett,
not
right side,
running
breaks the
anything
tackle
that looks
inside the
like
30. He'll be
this.
dragged to the turf and around the
Draw it up
26-yard
on
line.
paper. You can
And
execute
again,
this
the
Monday through Thursday. Let me tell you what you're not doing. You're not making it look exactly like Lucas makes it look there.
All right, Cubs with the football, 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. This time they'll hand it to Finello. Finello working his way behind the big offensive line. Down inside the 20, they'll put him at the 19. That's a 7-yard carry right up the middle. And the Cubs, 2nd and short is what they like, and they have that 2nd and just a couple from inside the red zone. And this is the Shakely Mechanical red zone. When things heat up at your house, well, call Shakely Mechanical Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling in Ashland.
And here's the thing, Aaron. Finella came on the scene for us last year as a defensive player, so him playing offense right now is an added benefit for Lucas. He was such a good football player for them last year.
2nd and 2 from the 19. They'll pitch it. Not a lot of room to run. Wynford right there with several guys to drill the running back and take him down. Finello was buried that time. Cohen Keith, the outside linebacker, among 4 of the Royals.
Not a lot of room to run.
Put him down
Wynford
right
right
around
there
the
with
original line of
several
scrimmage.
guys
No
to
gain at the
drill
19.
running
Good
back.
job by the Royals front there.
Yeah, that was a great job by the play side there. So the whole right side of that defensive line did a great job. Now, this is where you oftentimes get that counter coming back.
9:14 to go, opening quarter. They'll pitch it to Barrett on 3rd and 2. Barrett going to try and get the first down. He is close. He's grabbed and shoved back. Terrific defensive play by Brandon Garrett, the outside linebacker. Grabbed him, but guess what? Grant Barrett was just leaning as much as he could. They'll put him down at the 17. Those 2 yards are good for a Home & Kitchen Supply first down. And the Cubs on 3rd and short move the sticks again.
Right, and for your second-level players to have an effect on this game, that means your defensive front have to occupy blockers. If this offensive line gets to that second level, if they get to those linebackers, Wynford has no chance to stop this offense.
And hang on as they try to stop the offense. The Royals trying to get a head start. They jump into the neutral zone at the 16-yard line. It'll be a 5-yard penalty the second time the Royals jumped off sides on this drive. And right now, if you're Wynford, you don't want to give any gifts to this offense.
Right, and now it's 1st and 5, so they're not only ahead of the schedule, they're really ahead of schedule because it's normally 1st and 10. So, you know, you especially when you're sitting right over top of the ball, you've got to have eye discipline on that ball.
1st and 5 as they hand the football off. They try to get something up the middle off to the right side. Grant Barrett was the guy that had the football. He'll be dragged to the turf after a couple of yards. Kalen Skidmore, the defensive tackle, did a good job, rode him down at about the 9-yard line. So it's going to be 2nd down and about 2 yards to go. Cubs are going to have the ball at the Wynford 9-yard line. Scoreless opening quarter, 8:08 to play. Thanks for joining us on a picture-perfect night for high school football in week 3. 2nd down, a couple of yards to go for Lucas right up the middle. They give it to the back. It's like a rugby scrum inside the 5 and down it around the 4 or the 3. You couldn't even see who had the ball. It was the fullback, Zane Finley.
Yeah, Zane Finley is a large human being.
Right up
I don't
the
know
middle.
how tall he is. I
They
guess
give
I'll
it to
have
the
to
back.
look.
It's
Let
like
me
a
get a look
rugby
at this
scrum
young man.
inside the
He
5
is
and down
5'7",
and around
say
the
that.
4 or
At
the 3.
220 pounds
You
on
couldn't even see who
5'7",
had.
that is a big
You
human
weren't
being
stopping
right there. That's
him.
right. That is a true bowling ball. Going back to the play before with that double handoff, that's a tough play. You better follow your guards on that or you're going to look like Larry Curley and Moe at the linebacker
1st
spot.
and goal. They hand it to Finley. Finley drives the pile, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Lucas Cubs. They gave it to Finley, had guys on his back and drug him across the goal line. Touchdown, Lucas. They score on their first drive, and they just marched it right down the field as the fireworks go off at Bob Wine.
Finley drives the pile and he's into the end zone. Touchdown,
and then
Lucas.
Finley capping it off with his 2 runs. That's a picture-perfect drive for Lucas. If you're Wynford, get back over there, redraw it up, understand what you're trying to get done, start winning some of those one-on-one matchups, try to get a push on that Lucas offensive line. Now, this is actually what I've been looking forward to. I want to see this Wynford offense. I want to see what the week 3 adjustments are for them.
We'll keep it right here as that touchdown there by the Lucas Cubs comes at the 7:37 mark. They're still not done with the fireworks here in Cub Country.
Hey man, they got a lot to. You know, they must have went to one of those like fireworks where you sign the waiver where you're not allowed to light them off in that state. So they're trying to get their money's worth out here.
They had some 4th of July leftovers, is that what you call it?
First and
Yeah,
goal,
exactly.
they
No,
hand
it's
it to
actually
Finley.
got-
Finley drives the pile, and he's into the end
on a
zone.
3-yard touchdown run.
Touchdown,
Aiden Color
Lucas
punched the
Cubs.
extra point through, and the Cubs lead 7-0. Wynford, not what they wanted before they touched the football, to see the Cubs have a touchdown. Coming up after the game, we'll select our Spitzer Motors Game Changer brand new t-shirt design. Got it right here with us. We'll hand it out after the game. Spitzer Motors, West 4th Street in Ontario, the home of Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, Jeep, and Kia. Tremendous lease deals on those brand new Kias. Brand new Ram trucks as well. Jeep 4-wheel drive, something great on gas. They got it for you. Stop by and see them. West 4th Street, Ontario, and online at drivespitzer.com. It is Aiden Color to tee it up at the 40-yard line. Back deep for the Wynford Royals, James Schieffer. And they're going to kick it away from him. They are going to kick it over to Caden Blair, who's going to return the football across the 20. Try to go left side near the 25. He will not get there. He'll be rode to the turf prior to getting to the 25-yard line. Good job that time by the Lucas special teams getting down the field, making the stop. One of the first guys in on the tackle was Hunter Rice. And Wynford, we'll see them for the first time tonight from their own 24-yard line. 7:29 left here in the opening quarter. They trail Lucas 7-0. And I'm excited to see the quarterback, Allen, because it sounds like he can run it, he can throw it, and anytime a defense knows that the quarterback can beat you with the arm and the legs, it gets your attention.
Absolutely. And you know, this offense is contingent upon that position. And a lot of, I know it sounds like master of the obvious. Everybody wants their quarterback. You know, the quarterback's probably the most important position in sports. But when you're Wynford, really important.
And Wynford will throw it. At least it looks like they will on the first play. He's going to pull it down. The quarterback will. And he will not get away from Lucas as the big defensive end came chasing him down. Colin Arnold, the senior D lineman, was chasing the quarterback and he'll tackle him for a 4-yard loss back at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, that was a great job right there. Way to pursue down. And here's the thing, the real winner on that was the coverage. The left corner did a fantastic job right there, covering the deep ball there. That was picturesque for Jaden Walter there on that coverage, the junior, because that's who really won that. When you get the sprint out like that, it's basically throw or run option there.
I know the defensive lineman chasing the quarterback for Lucas. A big play on the first play from scrimmage. We'll take a break as Wynford takes a timeout. 6:38 to play. Opening quarter, 7-0 Lucas. Back in a minute. You're listening to high school football on WMAN.
Why are all these people so happy? Because they just got their business online with TMS Plus Digital Marketing. Get online with essential digital marketing services for local businesses. And feel like they do. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus.
Back in Lucas, Aaron Hines, Eric Will, WMAN hooking up with the OH report as Wynford snapped the ball coming out of the timeout. It was Kendall Blair on the carry. He'll get about 5, and he'll push the ball near the 25, and because of the negative play, the sack, it'll be 3rd down and long, not what they want, 9 yards to go.
Right, and this isn't what Coach Helmer wanted. You don't want to burn a timeout that early. And once again, Wynford's not throwing on their terms. They're being forced here through situation.
3 wide receivers, 2 to the right. The quarterback, Allen's going to roll, going to throw it. Got a receiver, he bobbled it and dropped it. He had it on the far side of the field near the first down. The receiver Jaron Filliator, but James Schieffer had the ball, bobbled it and dropped it at around the 32-yard line. His momentum was bringing him back. And I don't think he would have had the first down, but boy, if you're Wynford, you want to make that catch.
Yeah, I mean that's an old school 14 back to 12 there. That's a design kind of little back boot out there. So it was a good throw. Got to help your quarterback out there with a catch.
Trent Green will punt it away. Lucas had a guy in hot pursuit. Not a great punt. It'll hit inside of the 50. It'll scoot into Cub territory and go out of bounds at around the 46 or 47-yard line. That time for Lucas, the guy that put the pressure on the punter was Noah Langston, the senior, came flying in and really disrupted the rhythm of the punter. And Lucas, for the second time, will start near midfield. Not what you want to do if you're Wynford.
No, so not only, I mean, once again, they started on the minus 49, so now we're on the minus 46, meaning Lucas is 46. But this is still almost, you're almost spotting them 4-down territory. So if you're Wynford, you got to win first down here. You cannot allow them to continue to get 5, 6, 7-yard chunks here if you're Wynford. So that front four have got to do a better job with pad leverage, hand placement, roll your hips.
7-0. Lucas, they'll hand it off on 1st and 10 to Grant Barrett. Barrett across the line of scrimmage. He'll get a couple out near the 47-yard line, as that time in on the stop it was Blake Beckley, the defensive end for the Wynford Royals. They're going to spot him at about the 48, so give him a couple there on first down. 5:14 to play, opening quarter. 7-0 is the Lucas lead as the Cubs pack everything in here at the line of scrimmage. Going to pitch it to Barrett. Now the double handoff, and they will get it to a man. It's Finello. He's into the clear. Inside the 40, inside the 30, inside the 20, and count him off. 10-5, end zone. 52-yard touchdown. Andrew Finello on a double handoff, and the fireworks about to explode. Lucas up 2 scores.
Well, that's the double handoff, and that's the one that I was telling you. If you stare in the backfield, Aaron, you have no chance. You have to read those second-level players. You have to read the guards. The guard's going to pull around. If you watch the backfield, you're going to be confused. All that is down block, guard rolls through, kicks out, and it's off to the races. That's a great job by Lucas, great execution. And how good is Lucas, man? Just how good are they? How disciplined and physical are they? Every time I come down here, I'm more impressed, man.
Aiden Culler with the point after on the way, and he is 2 for 2. It is good. We'll take a break. 4:56 to play, opening quarter. Lucas 14, Wynford nothing. We're back in a minute. You're listening to high school football on WMAN.
Why are all these people so happy? Because they just got their business online with TMS Plus Digital Marketing. Get online with essential digital marketing services for local businesses. And feel like they do. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus.
Welcome back to Bob Wine Field here in Lucas. 14-0 Cubs. Kickoff by Aiden Culler, fielded by Blair at about the 5-yard line. Across the 15-20, got hit, breaks the tackle, gets across the 20-25, and then tackled to the turf. Nice return by the Wynford Royals and Kendall Blair. And we go back to the touchdown. How about the blocking by the Cubs on that?
It was unbelievable. A thing opened wide up like an ice cream parlor in the summer. I mean, did you see that? That was unbelievable. Great job at the point of attack. Like I said, when you have an offensive line that allows you to get to the second level before you're even touched, Aaron, your running backs, man, their job's really easy. So I'm always impressed with the physicality and the execution of the Cubs up front.
I love when you see a line open up a hole that a truck could drive through.
Absolutely.
And the Cubs did it right there. 1st and 10 Wynford from their own 26-yard line, and the quarterback will take the snap and get blown up by the Lucas Cubs.
Man.
And I believe that was Grant Barrett. It was. Yeah. Barrett came flying in from his linebacker spot, drilled him and dropped him. They'll give him forward progress for close to a yard, but that was a big hit.
Yeah, Barrett's a dude. There's no doubt about it. I mean, that is a heck of a football player. Both sides of the ball. He's just his physicality, but he's reading it. He trusted his keys there. So he's the unblocked guy. Why? Because the 3 technique and the shade are requiring double teams.
2nd down and 10 from their own 26-yard line. They'll actually hand it to the running back, pitch it back to the quarterback. Oh, the quarterback gets a block, throws it down the field, trying to get a receiver. He will not get him in Lucas territory inside the 35 at around the 32. As I'll tell you what, one of the Cubs may have an illegal block. We'll see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah, we're going to be able to look right here.
There was a penalty on Lucas. On Wynford. I saw a block in the backfield. Not sure
Blair on
if
the
it was
peel
clean
back.
or not.
Yeah. Well, and it's tough for Blair because he's just peeling back to get a block to help protect his quarterback there. They're going to probably say it's one of those blind side the players, probably defenseless type situations. Yep, right there. I have a lot of sympathy for the player there because I know why it's being called, and by the rule, I get it and I respect that. But that's a tough call because he's peeling back to essentially pick up a very important block. But believe it or not, Aaron, the technique on that is, because this is even on peel back blocks on punts and kickoffs and things like that, you have to lead, believe it or not, with your hands. So as soon as you lunge with your shoulder, it's over. It's going to be an automatic call. The coaching technique there is lead with the hands.
4 minutes to play, opening quarter, 14-0 Lucas, 3rd. And long to go from Wynford as they back him up, and they'll hand the football, they'll pitch it, and they'll get buried. The running back across the 5, maybe out near the 8, as the Cubs just come in and take him down behind the line of scrimmage. Finello, you can name Jaden Walter among others, to come in and take Kendall Blair down at around the 7-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and very long. I do have a score update from our good friend in Shelby, Pat Heidinger, who tells me Bellevue and Shelby tied at 6. 7 minutes to play, opening quarter in Bellevue.
Yeah, that's going to be a great game, no doubt about that. And here's the thing. I mean, this is an insurmountable 3rd down here. I mean, I would assume
3rd and 32.
Screen, so, maybe go 4 birds here, try to hit one big. This is if you're Wynford, I mean, this is just not what you needed at all. And now you got to delay a game. You're coming out, you're going to back it up 5. This is not what you needed to do if you're a Wynford. You're trying to come in here. You're already in a hostile environment. You're playing a very confident Cub team that's just been flat out, chopping people up here as of late for the last, what has been 10 years. And you can't. It's hard enough to beat Lucas. You can't add to it by mental mistakes and just bad execution.
3rd and 34 from their own 4-yard line. Low snap. Allen's going to roll, going to fire it. Lucas actually going to see Wynford make the catch. Woo! And the receiver's going to get the first down across the 40. He'll be dragged down near the 45-yard line. A terrific catch by Jaron Filiator, who is 6'4", went over the receiver, and he's going to get a first down out near the 45-yard line.
That was one of those ones, like, you throw that thing up because you realize you're throwing to height. And you know what that looked like? That looked like when I was 8 years old and I got home from school and I was trying to get a cookie and Mom took the cookie jar away right before I could get my hand on it. That's exactly what that looks like. That was an incredible play. And Aaron, here's the thing. He didn't have the first down on the catch.
No.
He turned then and picked up a little yak. That's a great play and much needed by the Royals.
Number 83, Jaron Filiator, who is one of the players Coach Helbert spotlighted. First down as Finello comes sniping in. The ball came loose. I think they're going to call it an incomplete pass as Finello hit the quarterback, who may be injured back near the 40-yard line. Andrew Finello came untouched off the left side.
Yeah, that's a tough play right there. That's the blitzer. They didn't pick him up. Finello came in. That's picture perfect, too. It's chest to arm as he's coming through. It's a good call because that was not a fumble. But I tell you what, I do feel for the kid because that's one of those ones, your entire body is opened up to take that hit, but it was a very clean hit because he even attacked the ball. Like you said, I hope the QB will be okay here. If you're Gabe Helbert, this is the last thing you need is, Kobe Allen being down for a substantial period of time here. But man, nice play. That's a great blitz in that situation. I wonder if that's a scouting report blitz or if that was called, because sometimes depending on how teams line up, you'll get that automatic blitz. But here's what I liked about it. There's a couple of different ways you can go with blitzes, Aaron. And what he did is he came from depth there, so which meant he was not accounted for in the pass protection. So he had a free release on the outside, and, man, that's what happens, man. Big plays happen, and so we'll see what happens here moving forward.
We've seen some big plays early, several heck of a plays, and coming up in the postgame, we will select who made a heck of a play. It is presented by Mansfield's Injury Lawyers, the Heck Law Offices. Jeff Heck and Jeff Stifler are here to help at HeckLawOffices.com. Tonight's winner receives a medium-free 2-topping pizza from Giannino's. That'll be coming up in the postgame. You hear the claps. It is very good news. You see him walking off the field, Kobe Allen, who is very key to the Wynford Royals, who trail Lucas 14-0 with 2:25 left here in the opening quarter. They just had a big play. They just converted what no one does, 3rd and 34 from your own 4.
That's right.
So they got momentum.
Well, I was even worried about them punting and getting back to the to the first down stick. So that was actually a heck of a play there. And so it looks like our quarterback now is number 1 here, Warren Ashton.
All right, and he stands 6'4", so definitely good size. And I know for Gabe Helbert against a Lucas defense, boy, you really don't want to have to go to a backup quarterback, but they do right now. Hopefully Kobe Allen will be able to come back, but hang on, a penalty comes out as we have another delay of game.
How can you have a delay of game coming off? I don't think Coach Helbert likes that. I think he's trying to figure out, okay, like we just came out, the ball was just –
we just had an injury stoppage.
We just had an injury stoppage. Yeah, I don't think Coach Helbert's real impressed with that call. But anyways, here we go. And it backs you up 5.
You know what he's thinking? We can't do 3rd and 34 again.
Yeah.
All right, so 2nd down and 15 from their own 40-yard line. They'll hand the football off to Blair. He'll be upended just across the line of scrimmage, maybe even right at the line of scrimmage. The first guy for the Lucas Cubs to knife in and take him down was Nate Thornsberry. The senior linebacker did a great job. Right. It'll be a no gain right at the line of scrimmage. And Lucas, their defense is just really tough if you try to run right at him up the middle.
Right, which is why you can't make a living in 3rd and long and literally 3rd and extra long. So, Wynford's winning the line of scrimmage right now, so Wynford has to find any little trick, any little type of formation, any type of play call that's going to get him a little bit of an edge or an athlete in space against the Cubs.
1:47 to play, opening quarter, 14-0 Lucas, 3rd and 15 for Wynford from their own 40-yard line. Pass by the quarterback, a little behind the receiver, incomplete in Lucas territory at around the 48-yard line. He was targeting that time James Schieffer, the senior wide receiver, and a little behind him. And Eric, the timing on a backup quarterback, his first pass, it absolutely can be off a little bit.
Absolutely, and it's a good job because the receiver found the hole in the defense. If it's man, you keep running. If it's zone, you sit and find a hole.
Green will punt it away for Wynford. Vanello and Corbin Toms back deep. It'll hit up at around the 30-yard line, and one of the Royals will jump right on it. It was Corey Moon who jumps on the football, and they're going to spot it at the 29, which would be the worst field position of the night for the Cubs as they started near midfield on both drives. 1:33 to play. It is opening quarter here at Bob Wine Field in Lucas. 14-0 Cubs, WMAN, and the high school football game of the week powered by Stone Ridge in Lexington, teaming up with our good friends at the OH Report this evening. Glad to have you for high school football week 3 and one of the premier matchups anywhere around the area tonight.
Right, and minute 33 left in this quarter. This is a necessity, a must for Lucas to get a stop on this drive.
Back to pass. Corbin Toms running. He's going to throw, and the ball's incomplete. The Royals had one of their defensive backs kind of grab Aiden Culler at around the 42. It was nowhere. I know that there is no uncatchable ball in high school football. Well, I don't know if it was almost after the play as it went by.
Right, and I don't think he needed to do that. If you just turn your head and look back at the ball, you'd be in good shape there. That's just not a wise play by the defender there. I like the play call. Because if you're Lucas, that's something that's very much against your tendencies. This is a running situation almost all the time for Lucas, but now we have an automatic first down here, so we're moving the sticks. Now, getting back to what I was saying, if Wynford gives up a touchdown here, it's not impossible, but they're staring down the gun barrel of something that would be, I think, almost insurmountable. Lucas having a 21-0 lead on you is like somebody who another team having a 42 or a 49-0 lead with the way that they run the football.
1:27 to play, opening quarter. The ball is loose, and the Wynford Royals say they have it. Penalty markers come out.
I think that might be an illegal shift, so I think this is going to stand. So I think Wynford's going to decline that and keep the ball.
Remember the guy that had the big catch? He just came up with the ball. Jaron Filiator for the Wynford Royals.
Well, and that was one of our
That's two heck of a plays
yes,
for him.
it was. And this was one of our keys, right? Turnovers. That is an equalizer when you have one team kind of exuding their will on another team. Well, turnovers like that are huge. So now Wynford not only has the ball, but they have the ball in great field position.
Lucas, very uncharacteristic a week ago, had 3 turnovers. A couple came when they were driving for scores. Coach Spittler was not pleased with that, and they have one here that puts Wynford for the first time tonight in Lucas territory.
And man, Wynford's got
play clock's down to
5 seconds on the play clock.
1:23 to play, opening quarter, 14-0 Lucas, 1st and 10 from the Lucas 34-yard line. Slant as Kobe Allen is back in the game. That's a great sign, but off the hand of the receiver, Filiator, it'll fall incomplete. Just a little off on that throw, but it was there for the Wynford Royals.
Right, and I like that. A little skinny post, slant, whatever you want to call it. The coverage was fantastic. Even the safety coming over did an excellent job there. Corbin Toms working into the passing lane, and he did a good job of laying off. 20 years ago, that would have been a monster collision. Today, because of all of the even just coaching, the physicality of the big hit has almost gone away.
All right, Wynford 2nd and 10 from the Lucas 34-yard line. 1:19 left, opening quarter. They trail 14-0. They'll hand it off to Blair, and Blair does not have much room off the left side. He'll get a couple, and the Cubs close that gap in a hurry. Getting up off the bottom of the pile that time for the Lucas Cubs, J.D. Cox. Defensive end making that stop. They'll put it down maybe about a yard, but not much sledding off the left side.
You know what? The front 7 of Lucas eats well. You know what I mean?
And they get home well, too.
Yeah, they're just sturdy human beings. They're thick from the waist down and just thick guys. I love it, man. They're hard to move. There's no doubt about that.
I was going to say, you read my mind. You don't move them, they move you.
That's right.
3rd and 9, back to pass, right side, over the head of the receiver who was open for a moment. He was targeting Owen Whitmire, the wide receiver. It'll go incomplete and out of bounds. 4th down and 9 coming up for Wynford. The ball at the Lucas 33-yard line, 35 seconds to play, opening quarter, 14-0 Lucas. And if you're Wynford, what do you do? Do you go for it here?
Oh, you have to. Absolutely. You're going to go for this. You're not going to punt this ball. And like you said, I mean, even if they don't get it, they're still in pretty good, they're still making, Lucas work the ball down the field. So if you're Wynford, once again, you're throwing on their terms, not your terms. This is not where you want to be. We'll see if, and the one play they had was kind of a miraculous catch.
They'll move Schieffer out wide left, 2 wide receivers right. He goes to throw it, and he's hit. The quarterback's arm got drilled, and coming up defensively was big Colin Arnold, the defensive end, as the quarterback reared back to throw the ball. He drills him. The ball comes flying out incomplete. In that Cub defense, boy, are they aggressive here in the opening quarter.
Well, they're getting home. When you use that term,
in a hurry.
When you use this saying, getting home, that means that the defensive line's getting to the quarterback. That's home. And Lucas has done that really, really well. So as this game progresses, what's going through the Wynford quarterback's mind is, am I going to get hit, or how quick is this going to be? You need at least 2.5 to 3 seconds to allow a play to develop, and Wynford's just not giving them that.
31 seconds left here in the opening quarter as the Cubs hand it off, and it literally is a rugby scrum. You can't even tell who has the football as they literally just power the football with your guy, Zane Finley. They roll across the 40 and out near the 42-yard line. He gets about 9, and there may have been guys on his back, and he's just dragging them.
Well, Zane Finley is essentially an extension of the offensive line. So when they hand it to him, it's almost like one of their own running the ball. This is a big deal. As a matter of fact, he's actually larger than most of the offensive line. So when he falls ahead, it goes 9 yards.
Hang on. 2 seconds left in the opening quarter, and we have another penalty on the far side of the field. This may go on the Cubs.
False start.
I didn't even know they were to the line yet.
I didn't either. I don't know.
I was looking down for a moment. Well, they're going to set the ball ready for play.
That should be the quarter.
And that will be the quarter.
Wow.
After 1 from Bob Wine Field, Lucas 14, Wynford nothing. You're listening to high school football on WMAN.
Bob Wine Field. The score,
Why are all these people so happy? Because they just got their business online with TMS Plus Digital Marketing. Get online with essential digital marketing services for local businesses. And feel like they do. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus.
Nugs in the treehouse. It's almost like you're 8 years old.
I was going to say it's like a snack as a kid.
Yes.
Would love it here tonight. Lucas will pitch the football to Barrett. Barrett across the 45. He hits midfield, and he'll be tackled at the Wynford 47-yard line. And the Cubs just with chunk yardage after chunk yardage. And you were telling me as they get a home and kitchen supply first down, well over 100 yards, right?
Yeah, so now you're looking at about 130 yards right now rushing. Just starting the second quarter here, 14-0. I'm still going back to unless Wynford can match a touchdown and get this thing cut in half, every possession defensively is a must stop.
1st and 10, Lucas at the Wynford 48-yard line. They'll pitch the football again, and this time there is nowhere to operate. Good job defensively. Owen Whitmire and others trying to move that ball. Grant Barrett, as Whitmire makes the tackle from Wynford right around, and maybe give him a yard, right around the 47-yard line, as we haven't had too many plays here tonight for the Lucas Cubs where they haven't had 5-7 yards. Right. They've really been able to attack the line of scrimmage, and they're back to the line quickly. Officially 1 yard, 2nd and 9 from the 47, and hang on. Right side of the Lucas offensive line just moved.
Yeah, Zig Zerzo jumped into the neutral zone there. He was ready to go.
Just one count too early?
That's right, yeah, just a touch too early. And, and here's the thing, that last play with Wynford, when looking at it, we've talked about Brian Crabtree in the opening, and he's playing well. He's getting to the ball. But I'll tell you what, when you look at Wynford, their defensive ends have actually done a nice job of keeping their shoulders square and squeezing gaps. So their second-level defenders need to really be on the ball here.
Under 11 to play here in the second quarter. They're going to throw the football now, the Lucas Cubs, down the right sideline. They had Corbin Toms out there, and it is incomplete. And as I say that, I'm looking out there, a different quarterback. We are seeing their original starting quarterback who had been injured, Andrew Smolin, the junior, is playing now. He is into the football game, and he can throw the ball.
Which is why you're seeing him throw the football, absolutely. And in these passing situations, he can do that. Now, on that play, Wynford was playing kind of a cloud coverage, which means their corner actually has the flat, the safety has over top. The problem with that was there were actually 3 guys being covered by 1, so that worked out in Wynford's favor.
3rd and 14, Smolin's going to roll to the right, fire a fastball. Good low catch right there, sliding catch by Andrew Finello. He'll have it at Wynford's 42-yard line, as he did a good job, but it'll bring up 4th down for the Lucas Cubs. They have to get down to around Wynford's 38-yard line. So 4th and about 4, and it looks like the Cubs will punt the football. Aiden Culler will come out. Wynford will drop deep. James Schieffer, 14-0. Is the Lucas lead. 10-10 left here in the second quarter, and they're going to fake it. They're going to pitch it, actually snap it right to a man, and he's going to go right behind the offensive line, and I believe he's going to have the first down. A direct snap to Braden Jackson, the senior, who you'll see at times maybe running back. He plays strong safety, but a beautifully well-designed play to Jackson, and the Cubs get a home and kitchen supply first down. Is that not a backbreaker for the Royals?
Oh, man, that's huge. I mean, Wynford had done a great job defensively.
I don't think they saw it coming.
Yeah, and it almost looked like they were in some type of a punt safe, but the problem was they, like you said, they almost created like a rugby scrum.
It's like a wedge. Yeah. They'll hand it off, Will Lucas, to Grant Baird, who has guys on his back and just dragging him. Line of scrimmage to 37. He'll drag him down to around the 32, 33-yard line. They're going to put him on the 32. Grant Barrett, you look at him out there, you he's a kid that is just so strong,
right.
Linebacker, playing both ways, and I think his role a year ago was more defense, and now it very much is defense, but he's being relied on a lot offensively.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, and I think you're seeing the fruit of that. I'm watching Lucas's offensive line on that last snap. Their tackle and guard took Wynford's defensive end about 15 yards down the field.
2nd down and 5. Smullen's going to roll left. Pressure was on. The pass is incomplete. Smullen got hit. Good pressure that time by the Wynford Royals. It was Cohen Keith, the outside linebacker, as Smullen was rolling left. Couldn't get a lot on it, but a good job defensively by the Royals.
Yeah, Cohen Keith, there's the jet backer. That's what you call that. So if you get any type of boot, any type of sprint out, you have a linebacker assigned to that jet blitz. It's automatic. Sometimes people will try to bring the mic. If you feel like your mic isn't going to be fast enough to get there, just bring your play side backer. You got to make the quarterback pull up on the sprint out.
3rd down, about 5 yards to go for Lucas, and make that hang on. It's another gift from the Royals. Somebody got in the neutral zone on 3rd and 5. Boy.
Aaron, and I'm telling you, Coach Halbert, that's going to frustrate him as much or more than anything, because that's just a lack of focus and discipline. They're listening to the snap count instead of watching the ball. You are training your guys. Watch the ball. You do not move until that ball moves. And that's the 3rd time that's happened. It's inexcusable. I know why it happens, because you're trying to make the next play, but you've got to stay dialed in every snap.
Holman Kitchen Supply 1st down at the Wynford 28-yard line. They'll bring Finello in motion. Not a lot of room to go. He'll get a couple. Good job defensively that time. Owen Whitmire, the strong safety, came up, made the tackle.
Yeah.
A very short gain that time, and the Royals were ready defensively.
Owen Whitmire did a fantastic job there, filling the gap there. Defensively, what you talk about are open and closed windows. And if you're a linebacker, you shoot open windows. That's how you play that there. The window opened. He shot it. He did a good job. His chest was up. And fantastic job staying ahead.
Lucas will hand the football off, and there goes the rugby scrum. Inside the 30, inside the 25. Zane Finley, the bowling ball, powering that baby down inside the 20-yard line. He got more than 7 yards as he disappeared into a sea of people.
Yeah. He got 8 on that. He said the last 3 times they've done that has either been a touchdown, a 9, or an 8-yard. And here's what you have to understand. If you're Wynford, when that happens, you're 2 interior guys, so I don't know if they're playing 2 eyes, basically on the inside shoulder of the guards. They've got to you almost teach those guys you got to crab.
3rd and 2, Lucas from Wynford's 19-yard line. They'll hand it off to the first man through. Not a lot of room to go up the middle. The Cubs will get a very, very short gain. It was Finley again on the carry. Didn't get a lot. 7:35 to play until halftime. 14-0 Lucas. No gain on that play. Good job by the front that time.
Right.
The Royals prepared. So 4th and 2 for the Cubs. The ball again is at Wynford's 19-yard line. You can go one of many ways here if you're Lucas.
I'll be honest with you, I don't think you have to get real tricky here. I think that I like big old 16 Finley here.
You can go to Barrett or Finello. Double handoff.
There
it goes to Barrett. He's got a crease, and you can count him off to the end zone. 15, 10, 5, end zone. Touchdown, Lucas Cubs. A 19-yard bolt. 2nd time tonight they've scored on the double handoff. They go up 3 scores.
And you know what? I'm assuming Wynford was thinking what I was thinking, which is you're going to get a heavy dosage of Zane Finley. And then what do? They come back with the double handoff. That's just a part of your counter series. Guard wraps around, boom, you seal that backer, and it's off to the races. Their running backs do a fantastic job of finding exactly where that hole is. They probably run that play about 300 times a week in practice, and Wynford's getting a dosage here on Friday night of it.
Practice makes perfect for the Lucas Cubs.
No doubt about it.
It's been perfect here tonight. Aiden Collar point on the way after is good. He's 3 for 3. We'll step aside. 7:06 to play until halftime. Lucas 21, Wynford nothing. You're listening to high school football on WMAN.
Why are all these people so happy? Because they just got their business online with TMS Plus Digital Marketing. Get online with essential digital marketing services for local businesses. And feel like they do. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus.
Things are rocking in Lucas. Welcome back to Bob Wine Field as you see Grant Barrett a moment ago march it in on a double handoff. Lucas leads 21-0 as the kickoff is going to roll into the end zones. The return man was hoping it was going to hop out of bounds, and Aiden Cullen just tight walked it down the sideline. James Schieffer lets it roll into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. 21-0 Lucas. 7:06 to play until halftime. As you see the touchdown for the second time on the double handoff, not one, not two, but how many Cubs have scored?
3. And that's what I'm saying, like, you know, we've watched Shelby the last couple of weeks, and Marshall Shepard will throw touchdowns to 4 different receivers. Well, what are we seeing here? We're seeing the exact opposite of that. We're seeing them run the football however they want, and 3 guys scoring touchdowns, which means that all these mouths are getting fed, so it keeps everybody interested in that backfield.
Get to a Shelby update in a moment as Wynford is going to pass the football. They get it to Blair, but Blair is then hounded as the Cubs had one guy grab him by the leg. He was able to get away momentarily, and then everybody else came in to clean it up. One of the first guys to help clean it up was Nate Thornsberry, but among others on that tackle for the Lucas Cubs. And they'll lose a yard on that play back to the 19. Quick update for you. Shelby is trailing Bellevue after a couple whip-it turnovers. They trail 19-13 second quarter in Bellevue. Wynford, 2nd and 11 from their own 19-yard line. They'll hand it off this time right side as the back's going to get a few yards. He's going to try to get away from a defender. He'll get just a very short gain. Caden Blair that time. We've seen Kendall Blair as well. Going to get a little further as he drags the pile out, or drags the defensive back down at the 25. So 3rd down and very manageable, about 5 yards or maybe or so, about 5 yards, maybe a little more to go.
And when you look at that, that's a nice run right there. That's a great run by Blair. Picked up 6 yards to get it to a 3rd and 5. The play before on the screen, defensively, if you've been battling a guy and he hasn't let you run through him, and then all of a sudden now he punches you and lets you go, find the nearest back, because that's where the screen's coming to.
Here we go. 3rd and 5. Wynford from their own 25-yard line, and the quarterback's going to run it. Blair Diaz got drilled. Woo. Oh, my. Can you name that semi from Lucas?
Man.
Oh, my.
That was big time right there, Aaron. That was your body's moving, and then all of a sudden another human being says, nope, you're going to stop right there. That looked like me running through the kitchen, and Dad grabbed my shirt.
I believe that was Braden Jackson.
Yeah,
oh, my.
5.
Braden Jackson. Yeah. The hit of the night so far.
Yeah, that's that's what we used to call the big stick right there. That's what he would get for that hit, because that was 2 bodies coming together, and he put his fingerprints all over that one.
He got about 3 yards, 4th and 2, so Wynford's going to punt it away. It'll hit at Lucas's 45-yard line, and Wynford will track it down right there. Micaiah Karcher able to touch it up right there. To go back to that hit, by the way, 4:53 to play until halftime, 21-0 Lucas. It's the fact that it looked like Kobe Allen was going to turn the corner and he might have the first down. And when you're running at full speed and you hit a brick wall is what it looked like. I mean, his momentum just got stopped now. Yeah, that's a big-time hit.
Yeah, that was big time right there. That was and like I said, I loved the pad level. And here's what he did. He rolled his hips through it and finished it off. That's just a good, clean hit. That's exactly what you coach your player to do, and it was executed very well.
You and I have been doing Lucas games for several years now. They just find a new kid to plug in offensively and defensively every year. Cubs 1st and 10 from their own 45. It's Finello right side. He'll work his way near the 49. As several Royals were in on the stop. One of those is their leading tackler, Brian Crabtree, their middle linebacker. He'll take him down after about a 4-yard gain to the 49. So 4:35 to play. until halftime. 21-0 Lucas. This is the high school football game of the week on WMAN, powered by Stone Ridge in Lexington, where teamwork is one of their top core values. You can join their team at stoneridge.com/careers as Lucas has the football at their own 49-yard line. 2nd down, 6 yards to go. Offense is set at the line of scrimmage. They'll pitch it. Double handoff this time. Working to the near side. It's Finello, and he'll work his way into Wynford territory. Whitmire will ride him to the turf at the 45, but that is a home and kitchen supply first down. They get close to 7, and they move the chains one more time. And, Eric, I remember doing playoff games.
Yeah.
Watching Lucas, it's demoralizing for a defense that 7, 6, 5, 8, then maybe a big one. It just keeps coming at you and doesn't stop.
Well, because what happens is you just get so frustrated, and then you do something that's not technically, you do something that's not schematically sound, and you get yourself in trouble.
Well, this time the Cubs were not sound there as the quarterback, Smullen, bumps into one of his backs. But he said, you know what, I got it.
Right.
He's able to roll for a few yards. A penalty marker comes out. He's tackled at around the 41-yard line. But what do we have here? Looks like a personal foul.
Maybe, you know what, that could have been something where you did there was a little bit of a high-low on the offensive line where somebody was engaged, and then someone hit him down low. That'll be a 15-yarder.
It is a personal foul, and it goes on the Wynford Royals. Penalties have really hurt Wynford, and we know Lucas can move it up and down the field, but they've really been hurt by the penalty. Offsides, something like this has really put Wynford in a spot they don't want to be. Giving Lucas good field position is not something you want to do down 3 scores before halftime.
Well, and here's the thing, 3:36, 3:35, the clock's counting down. Lucas now in scary territory because they're in what's called that gray zone inside the 30. So what you're looking at here is a score here puts it up 28-0. That's just not good for Wynford at all.
They'll bring a man in motion. The quarterback, Smullen, keeps it, and Brian Crabtree says hello and good night and buries him back at the 30-yard line. My, oh my, Crabtree, what a read there.
Yeah, he changed that 50 to 87, but he still plays like a 50.
Still looks good.
Yeah, he still looks good. That's a nice tackle there. And what you're doing now is you push Lucas past being on schedule. So Lucas wants to be 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4. Now you've made him 2nd and 13 or 14. So looking at this thing, if you're Wynford, read your keys here because you never know if you're going to get a pass.
2nd and 12 for Lucas from the Wynford 30-yard line. They'll pitch it right side. Finello, he'll get down to around the 25. No, put him down near the 24. So a nice chunk right there to bring up 3rd down. It'll still be long to go for the Lucas Cubs. They'll have a good close to 7 yards to go here on 3rd down. 2:27 to play until halftime. 21-0 is the Lucas lead over Wynford. Shelby has taken the lead back on Bellevue. 20-19, 2:41 to go till halftime up in Bellevue. So some good ball games around the area tonight. Lucas 3rd and 7. Finello again right side, tries to get the corner, tightrope down the sideline, makes a man miss, and he'll get inside the 15, go out about somewhere around the 10 or right on the 10-yard line. Finello, one of those high wire acts down the sideline there for a home and kitchen supply first down.
Yeah, if you're Micah Karcher there, I believe that was the left corner there, you've got to push him out of bounds. Use that sideline as your 12th defender. Get him out of bounds, create that 4th down situation. That can't happen at this stage, trying to get off the field here as soon as possible if you're Wynford. Literally trying to get to halftime to make these adjustments. So, right now you got to really put those heels in, start driving forward. Because Lucas Lucas loves these goal line situations.
1st and 10, goal to go from the 10-yard line inside the Shakely Mechanical red zone. The Cubs are heating up. They pitch it to Barrett. Barrett trying to back his way down to around the 7-yard line as a host of Royals, Crabtree and others in the middle to take down Grant Barrett. Also, as Lucas got slowed down by Blake Zeeler on the defensive line as well for the Wynford Royals. So give him about 4 yards. They'll spot him near the 6-yard line. Actually going to put him on the 7. All right, so put him on the 7. It's the far end of the field for us as Lucas is in no hurry right now with 1:33 to play until halftime, leading by 3 scores. By the way, a 4-touchdown deficit to Lucas at halftime feels like 40, 50 points.
Absolutely. Double handoff.
Handoff again, and Wynford did a pretty good job that time. Andrew Finello got tripped up at around the 5-yard line, so a short gain right there of a couple. James Filiator made that nice catch earlier on the stop for the Royals, so it'll be 3rd and goal for Lucas from the Wynford 5-yard line. 1 minute to play until halftime. 21-0 Lucas. Eric, 3rd and goal from the 5. I know the Cubs have a lot of options for 5 yards, but do they dare throw it?
I mean, I don't think you have
you don't have to. They'll pitch it right side. Finello's going to be tripped up. Good job by Blair. He'll trip him up at around the 2. Terrific defensive play with 40 seconds to play. Caden Blair got a hand on his foot. Otherwise, that's 6.
Yeah, and if you're Lucas here, you're going to go ahead and go for this. That's a great job by the defender tripping him up. So Finello's over 100 yards. I believe he's 114 yards. He's got a touchdown.
It's not a bad half,
yeah,
right?
I think Barrett's pushing some pretty good yards here as well. I think they're probably well over 200 for the half.
4th and goal from the 1. Under 20 seconds to play until halftime. Right side, they pitch it to Barrett. Grant Barrett into the end zone. Touchdown, Lucas. Cubs on a 1-yard touchdown run. The second of the first half for Grant Barrett. Here come the fireworks. The party's on it. Bob Wine, the Cubs lead by 4 scores before halftime.
Yeah, 4 scores is like 8 scores for a regular offense. What we mean by that is the fact that Lucas, they just take the air out of the ball. I mean, 2 first downs and half the quarter's gone.
They control it.
They control it. And Lucas is a team that plays ahead and plays even as well as anybody. This offense is not a play from behind offense. So when they get you in this situation, it's literally like a boa constrictor just taking the life out of you. And that's what they're doing right now. They're putting the squeeze on the Royals. And, it is what it is. I mean, it's going to be more than difficult, more than a tough task for Wynford to be able to climb up Mount Cub.
I'll tell you what, as Kalen Skidmore did a good job trying to get to Grant Barrett there, but Grant Barrett found the end zone, and the point after is up and good by Aiden Culler, who is 4 for 4 on point afters. And there's 14 seconds to play until halftime. We'll keep it right here. 28-0 is the Lucas lead. And the Cubs a week ago had a nail-biter. 14-12. They had to have a big defensive play at the end of the game. It was Corbin Toms, Aiden Culler. They were really good defensively, knocked the ball away in the end zone on a 2-point conversion that would have tied that game. But that's why I say they don't flinch. This is a team that's used to playing in big games. And even though all these kids have not played in big games, they've been on the sideline. They've been watching, waiting in the wings, as you would say, for their turn out here on the field.
Yeah, it's next man up. Listen, graduation's going to happen to your program. So what you have to do is implement your culture, develop talent. Do your kids get better through the 4 years as a person and as an athlete? And Lucas's do.
Yeah, you mentioned they check all the boxes. Kickoff by Culler, going to be fielded by Whitmire. Across the 10, got hit. The ball comes up in the air. He actually caught it. Penalty marker comes out. You don't see that often. The ball got a helmet may have got right on the ball. It shot out of there, went right up into the air. As we got a replay up here with the OH report, went right up into the air. He caught it, and then he got tackled.
Wow.
And a penalty came out. And who is the penalty on?
Yeah, I don't know. That was a big-time hit. That was a great job. And that's textbook, too, because that ball shot up in the air about 10, 12 feet. How about him having the whereabouts to catch that
about
thing?
Whitmire? Yeah. A lot of times when you get hit and the ball flies out, you're like, oh, no.
Right. Well, and that would be even more
awareness.
disastrous because Lucas could have potentially even had an opportunity to put another touchdown up here on the board.
The penalty is on Wynford.
It was a block in the back, I believe.
So nothing has went the way of the Royals here in the first half, and with 8 seconds to play until halftime, that trend continues with the penalty. Do you just take a knee here? You don't want anything to happen here to go down more than 4 scores.
Either way. I mean, if you want to take a shot or do something creative, that's fine. If not, take your knee.
1st and 10 from the 12. They're going to hand the football off to the back, cross the 20, 25, breaks a tackle across the 30, 35, still rolling and rumbling across the 40, near the 42-yard line. Good carry to end the first half by Kendall Blair. His highlight of the night so far, and that will bring us to halftime from Bob Wine Field. And oh, what a first half it was in Cup Country as Lucas scores 2 times in the first quarter. They score 2 more times in the second quarter. 3 guys find the end zone. Grant Barrett twice, 2 times on a double handoff, and Lucas leads at halftime by a score of 28-0. We will step aside. Coming up on WMAN, we'll have a check-in with the Ohio News Network, and then we'll be back. I know OH Report, Travis Berardi and the crew. Eric's got a monitor We got stats. You're in the
We're living
treehouse.
the dream.
We're waiting for the Wendy's spicy nugs, and then the night is complete, correct?
Absolutely.
That's how it works?
Well, and a Frosty.
And a Frosty,
Got to
yeah.
get a Frosty to wash down the nug or to dip the nug.
I believe we're going to start dipping in the Frosty. I believe that's how it's going to be. All right.
Yeah, it's been a great first half.
It has.
Lucas, and what we mean by that is great night, all that stuff is great if you've been a Lucas fan. Obviously, if you've been Wynford, it's been tough to watch. But here's the thing. Right now, Lucas is just playing at a really, really high level. And I mean, injury or not, I'll say this and then we're going to go to half. Wynford or Lucas has the ability to plug and play a little bit easier than Wynford does with the offense and defensive schemes they have, which is why I love what Lucas does. That's all I wanted to say, Aaron.
I'll tell you what, Lucas has been very, very impressive here in the first half. We will step aside, and then we come back. We'll run down all the numbers and the scoring summary in the first half. Once again, week 3 of high school football. It is a halftime, and Lucas leads Wynford 28-0. We'll step aside. You're listening to high school football on WMAN.
Why are all these people so happy? Because they just got their business online with TMS Plus Digital Marketing. Get online with essential digital marketing services for local businesses. And feel like they do. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus.
Selection was originally written by the slow hand himself, Eric Clapton, and Jim Gordon. Recorded in 1970 by the group Derek and the Dominoes. Here is the timeless classic, Layla.
Then he found out that she was a vegetarian. He's like, we're not going to never makes any good sense. I wonder if I had to do something like that somewhere. It was like, what's your favorite? My last name is in a foul.
Final selection, we travel back to 1969 when 4 young men from England debuted the following song. This song has been covered by such artists as Ike and Tina Turner and Aerosmith. We end tonight's show with the classic hit from the Beatles, Come Together. On behalf of the Wynford Royals, we thank you for your kind attention and continuing support. Once again, have a great night and let's go Royals!
Why are all these people so happy? Because they just got their business online with TMS Plus Digital Marketing. Get online with essential digital marketing services for local businesses. And feel like they do. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus.
Back here at Bob Wine Field, it is halftime as the Lucas Cubs out to a 28-0 lead. This is Travis Berardi stepping in real quick. Want to thank the WMAN crew of Aaron Hines and Eric Will for a great job that they always do. They're still at their break, but I just wanted to come in and thank everybody for watching live and free on the OH Report. I'd like to thank our generous sponsors as well for helping us bring this to you live and free. The Lucas Community Center, Town Money Saver, Scout Construction, JNF Construction, Pinhook Meats, and Ohio Valley Manufacturing. Thank you to everybody for allowing us to bring this game, like I said, live and free. I want to thank everybody again for watching on YouTube and Facebook. A ton of you watching out there. Give us a shout out on our Facebook. I'll try and get you on the fan zone here in the second half, especially our Facebook folks. Give us a shout out. Let us know where you're watching from. I know we have Travis Clark watching from Port St. Lucie, Florida, in the house. Let's go Cubs, Prider Nation. They're doing well tonight. Watching from Wyoming, Tim Byerly. Great to see you guys. And want to mention as well, tonight, 11:15 live. Eric will be on it as well. The Friday Night Pigskin. We will be live tonight. Brian Skoronsky is back at the studio right now getting everything ready. We will have highlights from this game. We'll have highlights from Ashland and many others. Clear Fork, Lexington. There's a good one going on at Bellevue. I heard Shelby just took the lead on them. We'll have a highlight from there. We'll have a highlight Mansfield Senior against North Canton Hoover. Galleon highlight as well. So all these highlights and more coming up 11:15 live on our Facebook and YouTube channels, as we are momentarily going to be back to Aaron Hines and Eric Will for the second half in our halftime. We'll have stats coming up for you here momentarily, but that'll do it for me for now. Make sure to stay tuned as well for our player of the game after. We'll have that, so stick around. It's been a good one for Lucas fans. We'll see you after the game.
Welcome back to Bob Wine Field here in Lucas, where it is halftime in Cub Country, and the folks are happy. The Cubbies are leading 28-0 here at the half. WMAN hooking up with the OH Report. Glad to have you tonight. High school football week 3, one of the big matchups in the area. And Lucas got it rolling early in this football game. We're going to get some of the stats in just a moment. By the way, beautiful setting in the
Oh,
backdrop when you look out into the distance.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, you see what the rolling hills and all of that
Right.
here. Beautiful setting for high
Yeah,
school
it
football
is.
and ideal weather tonight for week 3.
Yeah, good. As they would say, God's country down here. But good luck getting a cell phone service. But it is. I tell you what, it is awesome. And looking at the stats, you know, we came in and what were we talking about? Can Wynford stop the run? Well, haven't done it real well, averaging about 100 yards a quarter there. They got 200 total. But the interesting thing is 2 guys are really doing a lot of the damage. Finello with 85, I believe. Barrett with 115 yards. And then you look over, one of the other questions we had was, can Wynford get the offense moving again? And that's been a big-time struggle. They've had the one nice play on a 3rd and 31 or something in that ballpark, and they had a nice little play there. But they've had 80 yards and 2 first downs. It's just you can't expect to win football games or really even be competitive in football games when you're only having an 80-yard half.
10 first downs for Lucas. You mentioned
Right.
2 for Wynford, but Wynford got about 35 yards on one play.
Right.
So if you do the math,
Yes.
that's almost half of their total yards came on one play.
One
The
play.
rest was
Right.
like so hard
Right.
to move that Lucas defensive front. Let's give you the scoring summary in this game, and you pointed out a stat you just saw.
Well,
that Wynford's near
Right.
100 yards in penalties in the first
Right.
half.
Wynford has almost as many penalty yards as they do actual yards going into the half. They have 74 penalty yards, and it's just, you know, it's very uncharacteristic. Which
Yeah,
is
it's
kind of
un-Wynford-like,
It's very un-Wynford-like. And you know what? Here's the thing. Sometimes you have years like this, Aaron, you know, where you're battling sometimes almost against yourself. And let alone throw a team that's the caliber of a Lucas that I think has a really good chance, especially if they can get healthy, to be a regional final caliber team.
Well, let's give you the scoring summary as we're a few minutes away from the third quarter. 28-0 Lucas at the half. Well, we got there on 4 Lucas touchdown runs. The first one came at the 7:37 mark of the opening quarter, a 3-yard touchdown run by the fullback, Zane Finley, who absolutely powered his way into the end zone. Point after was good by Aiden Culler, made it 7-0. Then Lucas had a touchdown run, Andrew Finello, at the 4:56 mark of the opening quarter, and I mean, you could have drove a semi-truck through that hole off the left side. 52 yards to the end zone. He went untouched. Point after was good by Aiden Culler, made it 14-0 Lucas, and that's how we ended the first quarter. Second quarter, the Cubs got it going at the 7:06 mark on a double handoff. It was a 19-yard touchdown run by Grant Barrett. 21-0 Cubs after the point after by Aiden Culler. And then with just 14 seconds to play until halftime, a 1-yard touchdown run by Grant Barrett. Point after Aiden Culler was good. He was 4 for 4. And the Cubs score 4 touchdowns in the first half. They lead 28-0. And the thing, 28-0 is a big hill to climb for anybody, but you had a great point. When you play Lucas, it's a team that controls the tempo. They control the clock, and they can take 6-7 minutes and just drive it down your throat into the end zone. And it's backbreaking, Eric, because they take time and they're able to score.
Well, the 30-point marks the running clock, right?
Correct.
So Wynford is starting out with the ball, so we're going to see if they can get something going offensively. What are the small adjustments or something that you think you can get done in the second half? Because they're staring down the gun barrel of a running clock, and if Lucas gets a running clock, we will literally be out of here before 9 o'clock. So, I mean, if you're Lucas, your job is to do kind of what Lexington did last week. Get some scores up. Don't apologize about when it happens or how it happens. Get yourself ready. Continue to compete. Continue to build that culture with this year's group that you're not going to quit for 4 quarters. If you're Lucas, you want to get a stop, get that score, get the clock moving, because with your offense, you're going to run the clock anyways, but it's really going to run once that clock gets moving if you get that 30-point mark.
As we approach the third quarter, I want to remind you throughout the high school sports season here in the fall, we'll select the iHeartRadio Athlete of the Week. It is presented by the Neil Cady Insurance Agency of Ashland and Norwalk, specializing in auto, home, life, and business insurance. You can get a free quote at NeilCadyInsurance.com. That's Neil, K-A-D-E-Y, Insurance.com. Our first Athlete of the Week plaque being made, soccer player at Mansfield Senior, Brooklyn Foltz, who had a couple of goals, I know, to help them off to a 2-0 start. So congratulations to her, and we'll hand out another Athlete of the Week next week, courtesy of the Neil Cady Insurance Agency. WMAN tonight with the OH report. Glad to have you as we're about 3 minutes away from action here in the third quarter, and we have some scores. Thank you, Jake Furr from the News Journal, who had to check out the treehouse, by the way. Had to check out the treehouse.
Listen, and if anybody knows who Jake Furr, I mean, he's not a small human being, so when he came up here, the treehouse almost went down. I'm glad Dad put some reinforcement nails and screws up.
Is that why the railings are on here?
That's right.
Okay, all right. By the way, Jake, thank you for the scores. Second quarter, West Holmes in a close one with Orville.
Right.
20-13. Worcester's on top of Louisville 10-0. Ashland looking for their first win at halftime, trailing Taze Valley 13-7. I was told by Coach Cedar Taze Valley's got a big offensive line. Ashland's not real big this year. He was concerned with the offensive line. Buckeye Valley leading Mount Vernon 14-7. Lexington right now in control over the Clear Fork Colts 28-6. That game is at Lexington. And Mansfield Senior, who's 2-0, had to change their game. Lima Senior not able to come down. They're in Canton playing North Canton Hoover, and they trail by 10 at halftime. Hoover 17, Mansfield Senior 7. Jake Furr, thank you very much.
Yeah.
By the way, he approves of the treehouse. Not one,
That's
but
right.
2 thumbs up, I believe.
That's right. Well, how could you not? It is a and here's the thing. If you want to even come close to a cell phone service, you got to come to the treehouse, and Jake Furr knows that. He's no fool.
He's got a little service.
That's right.
And he's helping us out at the same
Yes,
time, so we
absolutely.
appreciate that. Cub fans excited here as we get set for third quarter action. And I'll tell you what, the one
Lucas faithful, man, they're fired up.
They got here early, but the one thing that kind of puts the cherry on the sundae, or as we would say, the spicy nug in your Frosty from Wendy's here in the Wendy's broadcast booth, is they fire off fireworks when they score touchdowns. I mean, the music plays, it's choreographed. It literally is a Friday night show here at Bob Wine.
Well, I like it because, number one, they're anticipating the fact that there's going to be touchdowns scored by the home ball club, because you're right, the music coincides with the fireworks. The fireworks are a nice touch. The only other school that I know that does that's Crestview. Crestview does that as well. It really does add to the environment. So I think there's someone that actually lives just off the school property.
Correct.
That they essentially synchronize it. Hey, we scored. Light those babies up.
Cubbies in the end zone. 3, 2, 1. There they go.
Yeah, and then you head down to the local fireworks stop. You're like, hey, man, we're putting some points up. We need to get a few more bottle rockets here.
We don't do Fourth. We do 4th of July, but we need some for the fall.
Yeah, that's right.
As the Cubs are having a good time here in the third quarter, ready to roll from Bob Wine Field. WMAN, the OH Report. Glad to have you this evening. 28-0. Lucas and Aiden Culler will kick off to start quarter number 3. Ball will be caught inside the 10-yard line by Wynford, and not a big return as the Cubs get down there very nicely. Blair on the return that time for the Wynford Royals, as Caden Blair has not had a lot of room to operate here in special teams. So put him down right on the 20-yard line. So Wynford comes out trailing by 4 scores, and you mentioned, I mean, you literally have to throw the old coaching cliche.
Yeah.
Forget about the first half.
That's right.
Let's go out here. Let's go down the field. Let's get a score. Let's get some momentum in our direction.
Right. It's the next play, and it's the next drive if you're Wynford. That's what you're focused on.
Royals 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line as they'll hand the football off right side, and the running back's going to get a few yards. Not a lot of room, as it was Blair. That's time off the right side. I saw Thornsberry, among others, on the stop after about a yard, maybe close to 2. Actually, hang on, a little further than I thought.
Yeah, a little 4-yard. Yeah, I think sometimes the scoreboard doesn't.
Okay, I
synchronize,
got
but
you.
yeah.
I was going to say.
I tell you what, though,
I was looking at the near official. He was looking. He was on
Yeah.
the 22. Give him close to the 24, so 4 yards. That was Kendall Blair that time on the carry.
I'll tell you what, I do like the electronic down.
I do. I
marker.
noticed that earlier. That is a gift for broadcasters. We really enjoy that. I'm sure fans do as well. Quarterback Allen's going to keep it. He's got about 4 Cubs on his back. He'll get a few yards, and they'll drag him down as they unpile.
Big third down.
Yeah, Thornsberry in there. Also Andrew Finello, Corbin Toms, among many Cubs. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 4 yards to go for the Wynford Royals. And we mentioned this, just positive momentum. They want to move the chains, get a 1st down here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Absolutely. So we'll see what they're coming out with. This 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. That's exactly what you want if you're Wynford, staying ahead of the chains here. If you're Lucas, you want to try to get off the field right now and get that clock moving.
All close to the 25-yard line. They'll snap it to the quarterback. He'll pitch it to Blair, the back, and he's going nowhere. Coming up and grabbing his leg and taking him down. Terrific defensive play by Corbin Toms, who came up from the secondary to make a big tackle for loss.
Lucas is just really disciplined. There's a really well coached, very well disciplined. When you watch Lucas, it's not like you're coming around just blown away by athletic prowess. But they do have athletes, but they're just very sound with everything they do, from tackling to being gap responsible on defense, to the way that they run their offense and the discipline that it takes to do that. Just very impressed.
Why they've consistently won year after year is Moore is going to punt the football away. It'll hit at about the 40-yard line. It'll roll inside the 35 and down near the 32. Wynford will touch it up right there. Corey Moon will touch it up after Green booted that to the Lucas 32-yard line. We'll remind you at 9:42 to play in the third quarter, 28-0 Lucas. This is the high school football game of the week on WMAN. It is powered by Stone Ridge in Lexington, where teamwork is one of their top core values. You can join their team at stoneridge.com/careers as Lucas, 4 touchdowns.
Got a little bit of a funky formation for the Cubs here.
Yeah, they had three different guys score in that first half. Wynford on a little trickery. They'll pass it to the right. Corbin Tom's going to fire one down the side. Got a receiver. It's Finello. Are you kidding me? Inside the 30. They'll tackle him at the 25-yard line.
How about coming out of the half with that? I'll tell you what, Coach Spindler's turned into like, Steve Spurrier. He's like a riverboat gambler out here just having fun. I tell you what that was and here's the thing.
Well designed.
It's well designed. Wynford actually defensed it. It was just a great throw and catch.
By the way, the guy that threw it was the guy who started at quarterback the first 2 weeks at Corbin Toms.
That was a great throw.
And I was talking to Taylor Eichman when I came to test. He said Corbin can throw the football. So there's a wrinkle you got to prepare for. First and 10, they'll hand it off to Finello. Boy, he took a hit. Actually, I'm sorry, that was Barrett, not Finello. Grant Barrett on the carry. He'll get inside the 20, down near the 16-yard line, maybe the 17, as the Cubs to the right, and they are inside the Shakely Mechanical red zone. When things heat up at your house, keep it cool. Call Shakely Mechanical Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling in Ashland, and the Cubs have been early and often in the red zone here tonight.
Absolutely. Yeah, on that last hit there, like you said, I think Owen Whitmire might have taken that as much. I mean, that was two trucks hitting each other. Man, again, that's the 4th time they've jumped offside.
That's almost 80 yards in penalties now.
Yeah, they're approaching 80 yards in penalties. You're exactly right. It's just.
Oh, is that going to go on Lucas? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, wow. My apologies.
Yeah.
My apologies. It's just because I can see we could see the defensive guy jump into the neutral zone.
Thank you, our official in the booth, Travis Berardi, OH Report, who was absolutely all over that.
Travis Berardi's just over here,
he's just
running a computer, producing
stats,
keeping us in line.
Yeah. I think Jake's the enforcer now. I think is what it is. So you're in line for the rest of the half. All right. Lucas will pitch it this time to Finello. He'll follow his blockers inside the 25, inside the 20, and down around the 18-yard line for Andrew Finello as they go off the left side. And the Cubs, whether it's left, it's right, it's up the middle. They just keep coming at you and powering that football. But the crazy thing is they bring up 3rd down here and about 3 yards to go from inside the Wynford 20-yard line with a little over 8 to play. They lead 28-0. When they can throw it or a little wrinkle like that, it's almost not fair.
Well, because what happens is, once again, balance doesn't mean you're 50-50. Balance means that there's a threat that the throw can be done.
Lucas will pitch the football this time. It'll go right side. It's Grant Barrett. Barrett's going to pick up a home and kitchen supply first down inside the 15 to be dragged to the turf and around the 13-yard line. And the Cubs just move the chains one more time, marching toward the end zone.
Yeah, that's actually a really nice tackle by Crabtree there to make that happen. That's a good job coming from his backer spot there. Picking up the first down, moving the chains, but that was a touchdown-saving tackle.
Crabtree, their leading tackler, and nearly half of his tackles entering tonight like that one, a solo tackle. Lucas will pitch the football. They get it to Finello, and Wynford is ready.
Man.
About 4 or 5 guys grab him and drop him. Blair, among others. Whitmire, and hang on, one more in on the stop. We do want to mention Brandon Garrett, their outside linebacker, 6'1", did a nice job, as well as the 3 guys sandwich Finello at around the 13-yard line.
Yeah, they got swallowed up in there. That's a great job by the defense. That's what you want, is that community tackle. You want those 11 hats getting to the ball if you're Wynford. Like right now, there's nobody out wide. All 11 guys are in the box.
Lucas will pitch the football on second down. They get it. Whitmire's going to make the tackle. That time again, it was Grant Barrett, but Whitmire did a nice job from his safety spot, taking him down after a couple at around the 10-yard line. Barrett runs hard, but Whitmire's got in there and made some big hits tonight for Wynford right that time at the 10.
Yeah, that's a good job by Whitmire. Brandon Garrett as well, the outside linebacker, number 34, also assisting in that, kind of tripping him up until he got there.
3rd and 8 for Lucas. Ball is at the Wynford 10-yard line. Cubs lead 28-0, under 6.5 to play. And a fumble as they pitch the football. Grant Barrett did not have a handle on it. Penalty markers come out as well. He'll fall on it back at around the 15-yard line. And the Cubs haven't had many miscues tonight, and we'll sort out this penalty as well. Or are they going to pick it up?
Yeah, I don't
know. Okay, maybe it was the beanbag. Yeah,
remember they changed the color
of
the beanbag from blue to like an orange. But it does look close in this light to a flag. So they're going to try the field goal here, Aaron.
All right, Aiden Culler will come out, and he has the leg for it. They'll put it down at the 23, so it'll be a 33-yard attempt for Aiden Culler. High snap, Corbin Toms gets it down. Culler boots it on the way, and that baby's right down Main Street. Up and good. 33-yard field goal. Aiden Culler will step aside. 5:44 to play in the third quarter. Lucas now leads 31-0 over Wynford as the fireworks go off at Bob Wine. We're back in a minute. You're listening to high school football on WMAN.
Why are all these people so happy? Because they just got their business online with TMS Plus Digital Marketing. Get online with essential digital marketing services for local businesses. And feel like they do. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus.
Back at Bob Wine Field here in Lucas. Kickoff is going to be fielded by Blair. He's going to get across the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and tripped up right at the 30-yard line. Good return there by Blair for the Wynford Royals. And as we welcome you back to Bob Wine Field, 5:29 to play here in the third quarter, 31-0 Lucas. And go figure, Mother Nature, the first 2 weeks of high school football, we lost 10 pounds in the booth.
Oh,
I've
we
never
needed that frosty.
I've never sweated more in my life. So
yeah.
And tonight, you couldn't have it more ideal.
Oh, it's perfect. As a matter of fact, even at halftime, guys, Aaron Hines went in, did the presto changeo, threw the sweatshirt on. Wanted to stay nice and warm so he could call this game without shivering.
Tell you what, spicy nugs from Wendy's would warm it up here from the Wendy's broadcast booth. I know they're coming to the booth here soon. They're making you wait, and I know you can't wait to sample those babies on the air. Wynford with a great pass on first down to get it to the receiver. I think he got the toes down
there it is.
In Lucas territory at the 49-yard line. The line of scrimmage was the 33. And that was terrific. Jaron Filiator, who had a big catch earlier. I'll tell you what, tap those toes. Eric, you watch this replay from the OH report.
Yeah.
That was textbook.
That was textbook. That's a great pitch and catch right there. That's like a 20 back to 18. I don't even know who has that in their playbook. That's awesome. And that's designed. He kind of sets it up, and then he kind of peels back. It's a reverse rollout boot type look. And it's great against man. A lot of people run man away from trips, so you know you're getting that coverage.
I believe just the third first down of the night for the Wynford Royals. 1st and 10 from Lucas's 49-yard line. Allen back to pass, scrambling around, nowhere to go. He'll step up. Cubs coming left and right, and he'll go down for a several-yard loss. Good job right there coming up to make the tackle, and that's your linebacker, Grant Barrett, sacking the quarterback back at the 49-yard line. He was trying to get outside the pocket that time. There was just nowhere to throw the ball for him.
Yeah, there was nowhere to throw the ball. They actually double-teamed the wideout. They high-load him, so the corner took underneath. This free safety then played over the top. There was nobody open. That was a coverage sack, which allows the backer to get in there. And what you're doing in these situations, Aaron, you try, with an athletic quarterback, you've got to spy them with a backer, because if they break loose, that can be the difference, man. Those are demoralizing, too, where you play coverage well and then you give up a quarterback scramble.
3:30 to play, third quarter, 31-0 Lucas. We do have a running clock. Back to pass is Allen. He'll spin out. He'll fire it right side. Several Cubs out there. The receiver almost plays defensive back and knocks it away. That time coming up to knock it away, playing defensive back, was James Schieffer, the wide receiver. We do have a penalty at around the Lucas 42-yard line. But I'll tell you what, there were 2 and 3 Cub defensive backs.
I think that might have been lineman downfield, so I think Coach went ahead and declined that. So now you're looking at a second, or actually it probably should going to be a 3rd and 12. So, Wynford now obviously coming out gunslinging. This is what you'd expect. They haven't had much success really on the ground anyway, so they're giving a shot to their 2 athletic wide receivers, of which both have height as well.
And the quarterback can throw the ball.
Yes, he can throw it.
Kobe Allen absolutely can throw it. And I think when you come in with the game plan, Wynford, the last few years I know they've been able to throw it, and when you look, their wide receivers have good size. 3 wide receivers, 2 right, 1 to the left. 3rd and 12 from their own 49-yard line. Back to pass. Allen has time. Right side, fires it a little bit too high for the receiver. He had a man over there right around the first down, but he overthrew that time Filiator. It'll go out of bounds and bring up 4th down and 12 for Wynford. Clock running, even though it's incomplete, because we have a margin of better than 30 points. It's 31-0 Lucas, and Wynford will have to punt it back to the Cubs.
Kobe Allen has a nice arm. It's live, but it's almost – he's got to make sure he gets his elbow underneath. He misses things high quite a bit.
The Cubs nearly got in there to block that punt from Green. Going to be fielded by Finello. He'll be sandwiched at around the 30-yard line.
Woo.
I believe it was Aiden Culler, again, that nearly got in there.
Man.
Good job by Finello to return it to around the 30-yard line, but 3 Royals sandwiched him at the 30-yard line, and that's where the Cubs will take over with 1:50 to play here in the third. The only time the clock stops, timeout or a change of possession, which is why it stopped right now with 1:50 to play and Lucas leading 31-0.
Hey, my man, number 73 there, Blake Zeller, that's 270 pounds. Running down the field, making that tackle. When you're wearing a 70s and you make a tackle on a punt,
your name deserves to be said.
Yeah, you're getting recognized. That guy brought a lot of man on that tackle.
All right, Cubs will hand the football off from their own 30-yard line off the left side. Not a whole lot of room, a handful of yards. I believe it was Barrett. Wait till they unpile. I believe it was Grant Barrett. And it was. Grant Barrett on the carry that time. Give him forward progress. Knee down at the 33. So 3 yards. Clock reading 1:10 left here in quarter number 3. After the game, as the Cubs lead 31-0, you got a decision to make. Our Spitzer Motors game changer. So many guys have played so well. Whose hustle, whose effort has changed tonight's game for his team. We'll talk about it coming up in the postgame, but it's always a tough decision when so many guys play so well. As they'll hand the football off again to Grant Barrett behind the line, fighting the way, driving the pile across the 35, 37, 38, maybe the 39 is where they're going to put him down, real close to a Lucas first down. It'll be 3rd down and about a yard. And, boy, just when you think, boy, there's not a whole lot of room to run up here, he just seems to get a chunk.
Well, and it starts with your offensive line. They're moving bodies. You're seeing white bodies move back with black jerseys pushing them back. So, if you're Grant Barrett, if you're Finello, you just hop on that offensive line and almost like a parasite, right? And you just hop on the back and let them drive it.
It's like a sled drill.
Yeah.
As the Cubs, I think that ball's loose. The ball is loose. Penalty markers are going to come out, or that's the beanbags. Yeah. I'll tell you what, I don't enjoy the color change.
No, well, here's the thing.
As a broadcaster, when it comes out.
Wynford ball, but
Wynford's
you're right. Getting back to that, you're right. When they throw that, it does look like the more you get away from sunlight, it's hard to differentiate between the color.
So it is a fumble, and Wynford got it at Lucas's 39-yard line. So if you're Coach Spittler, a lot has went your way. He's not happy talking to the official right now. I don't know what they're talking about, but as they come out and spot the ball, the clock runs, and that'll do it for the third quarter. We'll take a break after 3. Lucas 31, Wynford 0. You're listening to high school football on WMAN.
Why are all these people so happy? Because they just got their business online with TMS Plus Digital Marketing. Get online with essential digital marketing services for local businesses. And feel like they do. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus.
Boy, a Frosty does sound good as the Wynford Royals are going to pass the football out of the quarter, and it's going to be a touchdown. They throw it down the right sideline. The receiver, 41 yards to the end zone. As we just came back out of the breaks, it was James Schieffer who caught the football, and Kobe Allen has the Royals on the board just like that. Caught it just inside the 20-yard line, and he got hit by Jackson and around the 2, stretched out, got it across the pylon, and the Royals are on the board.
Hey, there you go. Clock's no longer running. Great job by Wynford there. They needed that. That was a huge shot in the arm there. It was a great, well-designed play schematically. You hit that long drag coming across the field. Way to reach for the pylon as well by the wide receiver. It did look like he got in before he was out. Anytime that ball hits the pylon, that's as good as gold. You're across the goal line.
Green on for the point after. He's got a good leg, up and good, and we'll step aside with 11:44 to go in the ball game. Wynford on the board. It's now Lucas 31, Wynford 7. We'll take a break. Back in a minute. You're listening to High School Football on WMAN.
Why are all these people so happy? Because they just got their business online with TMS Plus Digital Marketing. Get online with essential digital marketing services for local businesses. And feel like they do. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus.
Welcome back to Bob Wine Field here in Lucas. 11:44 to go in the game, 31-7. Lucas after the Wynford touchdown. So what you missed before the Wynford touchdown was Eric Will singing Sweet Caroline. It's like we were at Fenway in the 8th inning, right?
That's right, yeah. And then we just heard a little Annie, Are You Okay right here by Little Alien Ant Farm. The people down at Lucas know what they're doing.
Got a good playlist, right?
They do.
All right, Wynford Green's got a good leg. Is going to boot this one into the end zone. The Cubs will get it after the touchback. But we've talked a lot tonight on the broadcast tonight. Great to team up again with the OH Report tonight, WMAN High School Football live from Lucas. But this is, you just feel it's like a party atmosphere. Everybody in town, Lucas, they're here. Fireworks, music, Cubs playing really well. It's dynamite weather. It's
perfect fall day.
It really is a good early September.
Yeah, nice Labor Day weekend, no doubt about that. And, you know, it's funny we talk about running clocks. Well, Lucas basically lives in a running clock because they're going to hand the ball off here. That clock's going to get moving here pretty quickly.
And you know that Cub defense is angry. They don't like giving up points. We know that. They'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line, and that, my friend, is a penalty marker. You and I were talking off the air how the new beanbag looks like a yellow flag when it comes up, but that is an offside penalty on Wynford, and that is the 4th one, I believe, on the night.
Yeah, that's just
too many.
You can't live in prosperity here, right? Oh, our man Jake Ver's taking off. I noticed the tree house here got a little more stable. No, I'm just kidding, but I love Jake.
I think he heard you.
Jake, I love you, brother. Anyways, here we go. So Lucas, man, just staying ahead of the chains like they do. Here we go.
All right, Lucas will pitch the football, and that ball's loose. Andrew Finello had the
Wynford,
football.
I think Wynford's on it. I
It
think
got
Wynford
poked
got
loose
it.
at around the 30-yard line. They're going to unpile. All the Wynford players say they have it. Well, of course they're going to, but do they have
I
it?
think they have it. I think that thing took a nice fortuitous bounce Wynford's way.
I'll tell you what, there's a couple of Cubs and one Royal, and they're going to say Lucas has the football.
Wow, I tell you
who
what.
came out of the bottom of that pile with the ball?
There's who probably got it and then who ends up with it because it is a war underneath. There we go.
Ball came loose.
I can't believe Wynford didn't get on that. That's
I think
unbelievable.
It looked like it was Bradley Watt, the senior tight end for Lucas, number 87. Just got a hand on it.
Taylor Iceman stepping up
Taylor
to the
Iceman
treehouse, bringing us
water. Thank you.
Nothing better than, I'm telling you, man, the people at Lucas are unbelievable.
Thank you, Taylor. Appreciate that. Treehouse, everybody taking care of us here in Lucas. Great night as the Cubs are going to receive the football after one of their guys jumped on it. They'll hand the football off. That's your guy there. Zane Finley got slung down at around the 35-yard line. He'll get a couple, 3-4 yards where they sling him to the turf. It'll bring up the Cubs in a situation where I know they're just going to want to run the football, as you mentioned, and keep running this clock with 10.5 to play in the game.
That's a great tackle. Sorry, Aaron. That's a great tackle. I mean, trying to stop 260, 270 pounds like that, grabbing him around the hips, that's a great individual tackle right there because that is a large human being.
Second down, about 6 yards to go. They'll pitch it to Grant Barrett. Barrett gets into a sea of people, but still driving the pile out near the 40-yard line as the Cubs just keep moving that baby. Whitmire was in there again, but hang on. Blair comes up off the bottom of the pile. Kendall Blair was the guy who came up off the bottom of the pile. He was the first guy to pull him down. Third down, about a yard to go for Lucas. The ball will be at their own 40-yard line.
Big opportunity for Lucas, or for Wynford here. Wynford needs to stay low. Gap integrity, stay low. Don't get washed. Fight pressure. Second gap needs to fill straight ahead.
9:40 to play in the football game.
There it is.
And Grant Barrett, I don't think he's going to have it, or it's going to be real close. I think he was behind the line of scrimmage. They pitched it to Barrett. Good job. I saw Crabtree was in there, but there was another Royal as they unpile. I'll tell you who it is.
Yep.
As they unpile, I think that
66.
it was Skidmore, yeah.
Yeah.
Kalen Skidmore, the defensive tackle, did a great job of going low.
That was really impressive. Down here, I'm serious, it's all eyes, hands, chest, and feet. Eyes, hands, chest, and feet. And then get your leverage. Win the war with your hands. The front three guys, so basically your two eyes here because they're on each side of the guard. Get low, almost crab.
Fourth down and 1. They'll pitch it to Barrett. He bobbled it momentarily, but Grant Barrett with the awareness, and he'll plug his way, it looks like, for a Lucas first down.
Yeah.
Holman Kitchen Supply first down. A lot of times on the bobble, it throws everything off, but Grant Barrett, the senior, able to grab it, corral it, and plow ahead.
Well, and here's the thing with that. Here's what I like seeing. Great job there by Lucas to go sniff out a yard. But here's what I do like what I'm seeing from Wynford, and this is where it gets back to the culture thing. Wynford's a proud program. That's a brand in our area. And you can tell they're playing really hard. They are not conceding this game. Because, listen, sometimes you're going to win them. Sometimes you're going to lose them. Some seasons are better than others. But this right here I enjoy seeing from a coaching standpoint because the Wynford players are playing every last minute of this game, and I like it. They're making Wynford Lucas earn it.
All right, we'll take a timeout as there's a timeout on the field. 8:23 to go in the game. Lucas 31, Wynford 7. Back in a minute. You're listening to High School Football on WMAN.
Why are all these people so happy? Because they just got their business online with TMS Plus Digital Marketing. Get online with essential digital marketing services for local businesses. And feel like they do. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus.
Back at Bob Wine Field as Lucas will have it out of the timeout. They'll hand the football up. They'll plow ahead across the 45 out near the 47 and 48-yard line. Andrew Finello on the carry that time for the Lucas Cubs as they power their way. With just over 8 to play here in the football game, Lucas well in control. They have been all night. They lead 31-7. If you are just joining us, they have the ball at their own 48-yard line. Second down, about 4 yards to go as the Cubs. Boy, you just feel for Coach Spittler. They'd love to take it down one more time, put it in, just kind of finish off with some more momentum.
Yeah, and I think he would even tell you that right now, if they take another 3-4 minutes off the clock, consider this a great drive.
As they'll pitch the football, I believe it was Finello before he was swallowed up at midfield by about 4 Royals. Skidmore in there again, one of the first guys as they unpile. It was Andrew Finello. Well, I'll tell you what, a lot of big guys on that D-line for both teams, and people just disappear. It was Finello. He'll get a couple. So it'll bring up third down from midfield. Lucas needs 2 yards to go with 7:10 to play in the football game. They lead 31-7. Andrew Smolin, good to see him back out for the first 2 weeks with injury. I believe he came in maybe second quarter tonight. He's played the rest of the way. They'll pitch the football to the near side. There's the hole. First down inside the 45, inside the 40. Andrew Finello dragging people for a home and kitchen supply. First down to the 37-yard line. Well, I'll tell you what, they just keep coming at you left, right, up the middle. Then they hit you with a double handoff. Once in a while, they have some trickery and they throw the football. But, Eric, it's just a handful to prepare for. Play in, drive out.
Yeah, and you know, here's what people have to understand about the Lucas offense. It requires your quarterback to be selfless because there's a lot of times your quarterback's going to pitch and become a blocker, almost a fullback. The second part of that is when they do that, it causes a numbers issue because now there's another blocker that you have to account for on the defensive side when it comes to the play side.
Lucas 1st and 10 from the Wynford 38-yard line. This time they'll hand it to Barrett. Grant Barrett running downhill right side, inside the 35 and down near the 34. As they unpile, several Wynford players in on the stop. I believe coming up from the secondary, able to help out on the stop, was Cohen Keith from the outside linebacker spot. So Lucas, second down, about 6 yards to go with 6 minutes to go in the football game, leading 31-7. I have a Shelby update late third quarter. The Whippets lead by 9 at Bellevue. Shelby 34, Bellevue 25.
Yeah, that's going to be that's what you would expect Shelby Bellevue to be.
A lot of eyes on this one, a lot of ears on that one as well, as they'll hand this one off to Finello. He'll wiggle his way inside the 30, down near the 29-yard line. He got about 5, and so he's about a yard shy of a first down. And so Lucas will have it 3rd and 1 from the Wynford 29-yard line. This is the high school football game of the week on WMAN. It is powered by Stone Ridge in Lexington, where teamwork is one of their top core values. You can join their team at stoneridge.com/careers. The one thing I'll say when I say teamwork, Coach Spittler, if you missed the pregame, he said we're talking about Corbin Toms, and he says he just wants to do his 1/11th, and that's what Lucas is about.
Yes, absolutely, because this offense requires you, this defense requires you to be selfless.
They'll pitch this ball to Finello, and again, he won't have a lot of room to operate, but he'll still get a couple down to the 27-yard line. It's another home and kitchen supply first down. I mean, it closed in a hurry, did that gap, but Finello was able again to wiggle his way and fight his way for 2. They needed 1, and the Cubs moved those home and kitchen supply first down markers again as they are slowly but surely just working that baby down the field.
This literally is Lucas football, what you're seeing on these last 2 drives. And this offense is gold when your linemen are winning at the line of scrimmage and when you're not having penalties that keep you behind the chains. So when Lucas does these 8, 12, 15 play drives, they're just morally they demoralize people.
They're going to hand the football up. It's St. Finley. He's going to break free into the clear. He'll run away from everybody. 10-5 end zone. 29 yards, as you call him, the bowling ball, the fullback. He broke through, and nobody was stopping him for his 2nd score of the night.
Yeah, that's impressive. Oh, whoa, that was nice. They're saving the good ones for the 4th quarter.
Finale.
Man, I'm telling you, how impressed have you been with Zane Finley?
Absolutely.
You know, like I said, he really is like an extension of that offensive line. He's had a whale of a game today. And, you know, Lucas just being Lucas, you know, and you know, stripping guys off the legs. I can't even imagine trying to tackle that guy around the legs. That's just asking for a Tylenol before bed.
That's asking a lot as Adrian Culler boots through another PAT, his 5th of the night. It is up, it is good, and it is now. Boy, that was the finale right there.
Yeah, when you see a guy wearing the number 16 and then his body is as massive and just manly as that guy is wearing it, it almost looks awkward. You know what I mean? But I'll tell you what, then he takes off and runs, and he looks like a runaway dump truck with no brakes. I mean, that's what that looks like. You are not – in all seriousness, you better stop him early, because if he gets a full head of steam, that's one of those ones you can get him down, but it hurts. Like, tackling that guy will hurt.
And that guy may just take you and carry you into the end zone, and hits his 2nd touchdown of the night, 29-yarder for Zane Finley. The Cubs tonight, they have scored now 5 touchdowns, all on the ground, a field goal by Aiden Culler. 2 touchdowns each, by the way, for Zane Finley and Grant Barrett. The other was Andrew Finello. Aiden Culler had a 33-yard field goal, and for Wynford, a 41-yard touchdown pass from Allen to Schieffer, and that was their only score. With 4:31 to play in the football game, 38-7. Lucas going to kick it off, and of course, after the game, we'll select who made a heck of a play. That's another tough call.
Yeah, and player of the game.
We've seen a ton of them. Yeah, game changer as well from Spitzer's. That'll be coming up. Some free pizza from the Heck Law Office is coming, and Giannino's. All right. Kickoff fielded by Schieffer across the 20-25, and he'll be tackled at about the 26-yard line. Good job there by the Lucas Cubs as they'll take him down after the kickoff return. And with 4:15 to go in the game, Wynford will come out trailing this game by 31 points. So once they spot this ball ready for play, that clock will run.
Yes, absolutely. And, you know, if you're Wynford, continue to roll with it, man. Keep your guys out there. Throw the ball. Do what you do. Look for opportunities. Look for matchups that you like. See if you can get this, you know, like I said, you're not playing the scoreboard now. You're just playing your offense. These are quality reps against a Friday night opponent.
By the way, during the break, we had some Black-Eyed Peas being played.
Oh,
and now,
yeah.
you know, we got some Queen going on right now.
Wynford calling a timeout here. Wynford wants to talk things over here. Slow that clock down a little bit.
We'll keep it right here. 3:54 to go in the football game. And again, right now, the Lucas Cubs, very, very impressive. We are approaching 9 o'clock. You are listening to WMAN Mansfield, WMAN FM Fredericktown, WMAN, the high school football game of the week, powered by Stone Ridge and Lexington. We are teaming up with our friends at the OH Report. There's some dancing in the treehouse right now.
The treehouse is shaking, baby. I'll tell you what, Lucas has put on a show. I really did, because of the fact coming in, we knew there was some injury situation going on with Lucas. I thought maybe this would be a little bit closer, but then as the game's unfolded, I'm just reminded of who Lucas is. Like I said, Coach Spittler and his staff do such a great job of plug and play. No excuse. We're going to have our guys in the best opportunity and in the best situation to be successful, and they do it every single week.
All right, timeout over. Wynford back out. 1st and 10 from their own 26-yard line. The quarterback's going to fake it to Blair, going to throw it right side head. Whitmire out there, led him a little bit too much. It'll be incomplete at around the 30-yard line. That was Owen Whitmire, who's played well on the defensive side in the strong safety spot, but it falls incomplete, led him a little bit too much. 3.5 to go in the game. Lucas on top, 38-7. 2nd and 10 for Wynford from their own 26-yard line.
Yes, so coming back here, ball's going to stay in the air. You're under 3:20 now. So that is the nice thing about the running clock, is it does allow you to throw the ball. See, 10 years ago, the clock stopped right here. So even teams that were down would run the football almost just to get out of here.
2 wide receivers for Wynford, back beside the quarterback. He'll hand it off to Blair. Blair's going to be hit at around the 29-yard line. And who was that missile that came in? Was that Jackson again?
Yeah.
No, maybe Finello. I think it was Finello.
Finello.
Yeah, Andrew Finello. I'll tell you what, we got a replay from the OH Report up here in the booth. And I'll tell you what, the Cubs, The great thing about them, when you hear them say 111, there's 2-3 guys always around the football. And it's so hard to say that they're in the right spot every time, but most times they are in the right spot.
Well, it's because that's what they're coached to do. They read their keys and they all do their responsibility. They don't try to do somebody else's responsibilities. And when a defense is running, any defense that's worth its salt is the linebackers should lead you in tackling, which means that your defensive line is gobbling up offensive fronts.
That would be your Barrett and your Finello here in Lucas, as we do have a penalty now. Illegal substitution. I believe the call is going to be against the Wynford Royals. Clock running. 2 minutes even to play in the football game. 38-7 is the Lucas lead. And the Cubs trying to move to 3-0. I think Jake Furr from the News Journal, I saw him put on Twitter the last time these two teams played, I want to say it was like 04, or no, maybe 010, so it's been a good 11 years.
Yeah.
Last time I think Lucas won was like 04.
Right.
So this is a big one, back to the glory days of the NCC, as Wynford's going to throw it. They're going to complete it to Filiator. He'll get the toes down across the 35, around the 37-yard line.
It's a first down as well.
It is a first down, right at the Home and Kitchen Supply marker. First down,
That's
you got
right.
it.
And they run that play really well.
Yeah.
That is something that Wynford runs really, really well. There's no doubt that Kobe Allen likes that ball. He likes to throw that. And got another score update, man. This game up in Bellevue must be out of control. It's looks like it's 34-33 Shelby over Bellevue.
Just under 9 to play.
Just under 9 to play. So
wow.
Yeah, and hey, OH.REPORT's going to have all the highlights tonight.
All right, a lot going on. High school football, under a minute to play as Wynford. Allen's going to throw it. Other side, got his receiver on the far side of the field, and tell you what, that time he went to his favorite target. Jaron Filiator makes the catch across the 45 at the 46-yard line. Give him 9 with 39 seconds to go in the game. Second down and 1 for Wynford. The ball again at their own 46-yard line. They trail 38-7, but not going down without fighting, right?
Absolutely, under 30 seconds. In typical Lucas fashion, everybody's going to get home in time to watch a little Nick at night.
Yeah, there you go. The Cubs back to pass for Wynford. They're going to throw it. They got Schieffer out there. He caught it inside Lucas's 35-yard line. They'll be tackled. That time, good job defensively as Lucas able to get him down with about 8 seconds to play in the football game. That was Grayson Jackson, the sophomore, on the tackle, and that is going to do it for the game. The clock hits triple zeros. The Lucas Cubs improve to 3-0 as they win on their home opener here at Bob Wine Field. Fireworks left and right as the Cubs win tonight. Final score, Lucas 38 and Wynford 7. As I mentioned, with the win, Lucas improves to 3-0. They're on the road next week at Willard. Wynford with the loss, and it's very rare to make this statement. The Royals below 500. They're 1-2. They will entertain Bucyrus next Friday, and I believe what they call the Copper Kettle game. I believe
it's
over
something
there in
like that.
And
if you're Wynford, that's going to have a great week of practice. Watch your film, get better after this, because Lucas is a completely different animal. I think they can come back and have a really good opportunity potentially against Bucyrus next week to get that 500 taste. If you're Lucas, you're just going to do what you do. They're 3-0. The greatest thing about 3-0 is what? A chance to go 4-0. So, Lucas just each week it seems like they're 1-0, right, Aaron?
Absolutely. I know the Lucas fans below.
Yeah.
Excited they're 3-0, chance to go 4-0. Urban Meyer's statement over the years.
Right.
And think about it. Lucas last week had some turnovers, found a way to win tonight early and often. The Cubs found the end zone. We'll take a break. Our post-game show is coming up next. We'll hand out our awards and put a wrap on tonight's broadcast. Once again, the high school football game of the week on WMAN, powered by Stone Ridge and Lexington. Final score from Bob Wine Field. It was Lucas 38 and Wynford 7. We'll take a break. The post-game show is next. You're listening to high school football on WMAN.
Why are all these people so happy? Because they just got their business online with TMS Plus Digital Marketing. Get online with essential digital marketing services for local businesses. And feel like they do. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus.
Back at Bob Wine Field here in Lucas, where fireworks, they just shot off the finale. You should have saw the display they just put up a moment ago as the Cubs win tonight. They improved to 3-0 with a 38-7 win over the Wynford Royals, and they score 5 times on the ground. They kick a field goal. They were just so impressive here tonight, the Lucas Cubs, in dominant fashion as they improved to 3-0. Wynford falls to 1-2. As we recap tonight's football game, let's tell you how this happened. First quarter, 7:37 mark. It was a 3-yard touchdown run by Zane Finley. Remember that name. Point after good by Aiden Culler made it 7-0. At the 4:56 mark of the second quarter, it was a 52-yard touchdown run, a giant hole. Andrew Finello off the left side bolted to the end zone, 14-0 after Aiden Culler punched in the PAT. That's how we ended the first quarter, 14-0 Lucas. Second quarter, Cubs got it going again at the 7:06 mark. It was a 19-yard touchdown run on a double handoff. Grant Barrett burst his way in. Point after by Culler made it 21-0. And then Grant Barrett right before halftime, 14 seconds to play in the second quarter, a 1-yard touchdown run. Grant Barrett scored. Culler put the point after through, 28-0 Lucas. That was our halftime score. Third quarter, Aiden Culler says, hey, I can kick PATs, but I can go long distance too. A 33-yard field goal at the 5:44 mark of the third quarter made it 31-0 Lucas. Then that's how we wrapped up the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, Wynford got on the board just 16 seconds into the fourth quarter at the 11:44 mark. It was a 41-yard touchdown pass from the quarterback Allen to Schieffer, the wide receiver. 31-7 after Green put the point after through for the Wynford Royals. But the Cubs finished it off with the fullback at the 4:31 mark of the game. Zane Finley, a 29-yard touchdown run. He burst through, broke tackles, broke away from everybody, 29 yards to the house. Point after good by Culler, made it 38-7, and that was our final score here tonight. Well, Eric, as we put a wrap on tonight's game, our post-game show all season long is presented by the Mansfield-Richland County Public Library. 9 branches across the county. This game in the books. Why aren't you? You can check out all the upcoming events for all 9 branches online at mrcpl.org. Let's begin with who made a heck of a play, and we're going to go with senior running back and linebacker Grant Barrett, who was all over the football field. Yeah. 2 touchdowns, bunch of tackles, just set the tone on both sides.
This is third game, third week, of which we could have had 2 or 3 guys that are really good candidates for player of the game. But I think that we can say the heck of a play was Barrett on a few of his long runs. I think he had several hecks of a play, which could have also led to a player of the game. But, just been steady for several years now. Every time we come here, he gets better and better, and he's a heck of a defensive player as well. So very well earned. His imprints are all over this game, all over this team, and this is why Lucas is Lucas, is because you have selfless kids making great plays, and I think that Barrett is very he's almost symbolic. He's almost just a great representation of everything that they stand for and who they are and why they're successful.
So congratulations to Grant Barrett. Heck of a play from the Heck Law Offices, Mansfield's injury lawyers Jeff Heck and Jeff Stifler, here to help you at HeckLawOffices.com. He's got a medium-free 2-topping pizza from Giannino's. Our Spitzer Motors game changer on the way, and that is Zane Finley, the fullback. 2 touchdowns. He literally got things rolling here tonight.
He's coming on up.
He's going to come up.
I'm excited. I'm excited to talk to the big fella.
Well, he had a couple of big runs here tonight. He put it in tonight from 3 yards out and 29 yards out. He is our Spitzer Motors game changer. His hustle, his effort, his couple of touchdowns. Really big tonight. I know Eric's going to have a chat with him, and I'll read down through some of the numbers in tonight's game.
Go ahead.
And we will get a photo with him as well. We're going to grab a photo of you, Zane, as well. Yeah. Right. We're going to go ahead and give him I don't know if he can hear us or not. Can he hear us? Okay, all right, so we're good to go. Zane Finley is joining us right now, and Zane, if you would, go ahead and talk about tonight's ballgame. He's getting his photo taken right now. Let's give it just a second here as he's getting his photo.
And Aaron's going to get his photo.
I'm going to get my photo too here.
That's right.
We'll have him turn our way a little live radio, live TV. Yeah. Everybody's live.
He's going to be a
here.
Social media sensation tonight.
Yeah.
Zane, have you been able to say that a lot in your career? A social media sensation?
No, sir.
I love it. I love it.
Well, Zane, if you would, go ahead and turn my way up here, if you would, right over here. I'm going to grab a hold your T-shirt up. We're going to grab a photo so people can see this. You had a great ball game here tonight. If you would, talk about your game quickly here tonight. You guys run the ball so well. When you get it, I'll tell you what, your touchdown runs seem to come at the right time for your football team here tonight. It really kind of sparked you guys. If you would, how cool is it when you get the ball, being a fullback like that, be able to ramble into the end zone?
Yes, sir. It's very awesome. All props to my linemen tonight. They did an awesome job. We all did our 111th tonight, and we beat the Wynford Royals. It was a really prestigious program. And go Cubs.
Now, what's it like for you coming in each week? Because you don't know how many carries you're going to get. You don't know what your role is going to be. I mean, you know what it's going to be. You have an idea of what you're doing because you do a lot of blocking. I even talked about tonight watching. You're almost an extension of the offensive line. But I love how you get rewarded. So what's it like for you when you start when the play call comes in and you realize you're going to get it, which is primarily going to be inside that A gap, right? You're going to be hitting it up in. So what's that like for you? What's going through your mind? What goes through the mind of a fullback when you're getting ready to touch the ball?
Oh, it's awesome. It's like Coach Spiller always likes to say, I'm getting a Scooby snack. And I don't get often, but when I do, I'm going to try to take advantage of it. And my lineman does a great job. And it wouldn't work without my lineman. If my job they don't do their 111th, well, I'm not going to get anything done. I won't get a yard, you know what I mean? So,
Zane, while we have you for a minute, for us here to broadcast your game, what's it like playing? Do you guys realize the music playing, the fireworks going off? I mean, it's like a party-like atmosphere. What's it like as a player? You're playing and you hear the fireworks and the crowd and all that going off behind you in the background.
Oh, it's nothing like playing at home. The Cubs, they bring a crowd and we love it. We feed off their energy and we're so proud of our community and thank our community tremendously.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we enjoy, we're from the area, but it's really been recently we've been able to, get here with the technology and all that stuff. We've gotten past that so we can get here and cover you guys. And I know through your playoff runs through the years and things like that, I know you guys just celebrate 1-0 each week.
Yes,
but
sir.
I think it's fantastic that you do have this community support because you can feel this. So what's it like as a kid growing up in Lucas and then having an opportunity to come out here and play? What goes through your mind? What's the preparation like knowing each week that you're going to have this type of support?
Well, when I was a freshman, I sat there and the seniors would say, pay it forward, pay it forward. And that's kind of the tradition that we've made, that every year we're working for our seniors' goals, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I remember being a little kid sitting there watching Mason Galco and all of them run the ball very good, I'm like, I want to be that guy one day, you know what I mean? Right. And that's how I feel like we bring the program together and we're just a family, Everybody does their 111th.
Well, Zane, our player of the game, congratulations. Eric's going to hand you a pizza coupon if you give that to Grant Barrett.
Yes, sir.
Give that to Grant Barrett, and maybe he'll split it with you.
Maybe
you never know.
Tell him he owes you a pizza.
Yeah.
All right.
Congrats. And the O-line. Take care of the O-line on that. That's your shirt, brother.
That's
yours. That's
awesome.
yours, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, you wear that to school, man.
All right, sounds good.
Hey, thank you for joining us.
Thank
Great
you,
game
guys.
today,
Yeah,
Zane.
thank you, guys.
Hey,
Thank
congratulations,
you.
bud. You're fun to watch,
Thank
man.
you, sir.
Pleasure to watch, Zane.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Very, very welcome. And I'll tell you what, the Cubs with a big win here tonight. Zane Finley, a big part of that, 2 touchdown runs. And I'll tell you what, really, really excited as the Cubs tonight handle business here at home.
How refreshing. This is. I know we talk to coaches a lot. I like talking to the players. Just the humility, because oftentimes, guys, especially in football, their helmets are on, they're so far away, you don't get to see the personality and the human side of these players. Basketball, you get to see a little bit more. Baseball, because you get to see the faces, you can see the expression. You can tell Coach Spittler has just done a phenomenal job with his culture. 111, right? 111, 111. And he wanted nothing to do with the credit of tonight. It was all about the team and his teammates. This is why Lucas, every year, if they were in a league, they're going to win league titles. But regardless, their league title is actually getting into the playoffs and making that run. And I think this group has the ability to make one of those deep runs.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to go through the stats before we get out of here tonight. 38-7, Lucas, a winner here tonight. He just thought he was holding that for a photo. He wanted to give it back. That's his to keep.
Yeah. Well, and
about that?
I think those are extra larges. He's probably one of the only guys that we've given it out to that can actually wear it. Like it fits him. It's the way that it's supposed to, work.
Well, Lucas wins tonight 38-7. Travis Berardi from the OH Report. How many people have a monitor in front of you with stats? Before I get to those, I got an update. The last I heard, Shelby has just scored on a 55-yard touchdown pass. The point after was no good. Shelby leads Bellevue 40-39, late stages, fourth quarter. I do not have a time on that.
It's 6 minutes left in that game. Bellevue has the ball.
Thank you.
That's what they call the old Maylocks masher right there.
Pat Heidinger is there, and he is texting us updates left and right. Love that guy. All right. Final numbers, Travis Berardi from the OH Report has dialed them up, and when you look at these in front of you, Eric, well, I'm going to let you rattle through these, but they tend to lean heavy Cubs here tonight.
Right. I mean, it's interesting. You know, what do they call it? The tail of the tape, right? When you start looking at the numbers and you see it, a lot of people will say one of the most over-analyzed stat is the time of possession, which we don't have, and it's because Lucas probably has a major edge on the time of possession, but it's because that not only do they occupy the ball, but they also know how to score it. The 18-5 as far as first down difference, I mean, that 13 first down difference was evident today, and then the total yardage was a no-brainer. Really, Wynford, other than their last two drives, was probably under 100 yards because they've had some really nice completions, which was a nice job. But Wynford obviously running for over 300 yards. When Wynford runs for over 300 yards, that means they're doing their style of football, which makes it very difficult to beat them because they're going to possess it and they're going to be mentally and physically probably owning the game. 44 rushing yards for Wynford.
Compared to 305 for the Cubs.
And then here's the other. This might be the most telling stat. 10 penalties to 3. Wynford had 10 penalties to 3. For Lucas, 79 penalty yards, nearly 80 yards worth of penalties for Wynford. So I know that's the type of stuff that Coach Helbert and his staff will address, probably even as early as tomorrow, if not Monday. If you want to go old school, a lot of coaches used to actually incorporate a little extra cardiovascular opportunities for penalty yards, but and then Lucas keeping it to a minimum with 15. The turnovers, Lucas had.
That's the only thing.
Yeah, Lucas had 2 turnovers, which is piggybacking off the 3 they had last week. So I can tell you, Coach Spittler doesn't like that, and there were a couple other times I believe the ball hit the ground that Lucas was able to recover. So great night. For Lucas and their fans and their homes. Just being here is fantastic. This is just being here, you can tell the people of Lucas are just great human beings that are so cordial. They're very thankful. It's a pleasure for us to come to Lucas. I'm glad that we have these opportunities to come here.
Yeah, really good. I'll tell you what, tip of the cap to Taylor Eisman, the athletic director. Not only brought us some water and things like that, but they always take care of us here. And I'll tell you what, this is a small school. They do not have a big press box, but they literally put a tree house on the side of the press box so we can broadcast a game. So terrific night here tonight with the OH Report down here in Lucas as we put a wrap on it, our post-game show on WMAN all season long. This game's in the books. It's presented by the Mansfield Richland County Public Library. Again, you can find all the events, everything cool happening at your branch of the library. There's 9 of them in Richland County. One of them right here in Lucas.
That's right, buddy. Yeah, Lucas, I'm telling you, man, it's a quaint little town. It really is. Like I said, if you have one negative about Lucas, it might be cell phone reception.
Yeah.
Other than that, and you know what? For a lot of people, that's probably a good thing because then that way you get your kids off their phone, they can get out and build a treehouse.
How about
like
this?
What we're in.
Nobody's going to bother me. I'm going to the game.
That's right.
That's it.
No, I agree.
I'll see you after the game. And everybody in town showed up tonight as the Lucas Cubs, a winner here tonight. And do you have an update? You do. It looks like Bellevue has taken the lead on Shelby 45-40. And we believe Bellevue is going for 2.
Which is what they do because they don't. They're inside of 3. It's 3 minutes, 30 seconds left in the game. Man, what a barn burner up there in Bellevue.
How about that?
But that's, like I said, that's what you expect. In that series, Aaron, it's I think it's 38-36-1 all time. Like that's the Bellevue owns the lead by 2 games.
All right, so we are putting a wrap on our broadcast here tonight. Next week, WMAN will be rolling our way. Our first chance to see Mansfield Senior will be at Arlen Field. We're going to team up with the OH Report again.
Yes.
Travis Berardi and the crew will be at Arlen Field. Our first chance to see Senior High. And I'm excited because not only we see the TY Tigers, but we get to see probably the favorite going into the year in the OCC in West Holmes. So I'm excited, Senior High and West Holmes.
Yeah.
What a game to kick off the OCC opener.
Absolutely. I'm excited because, once again, another opportunity for us to go see another great Richland County school. West Holmes, we haven't seen them, Aaron, and that was a regional team last year. I believe they lost to Tiffin Columbian. Mansfield, I'm not quite sure how they fared tonight. I don't know how West Holmes was beating Orrville. But regardless, that's a huge OCC game because, in my opinion, West Holmes is the favorite. And from what I'm seeing with what's going on with Ashland, I really do feel like that Mansfield was probably one of those big challengers. And how about Lex tonight kind of putting it to Clear Fork, to Coach Gerhardt once again having his imprint on that program. Sounds like you got something here for us.
Last update I have, and this has been a little while, they're into the fourth quarter, but after 3, Mansfield, hang on here, I got an update.
Uh-oh.
Mansfield Senior, let's see here. After 3 quarters, they were leading North Canton Hoover 21-17.
Okay.
And it looks like North Canton Hoover had the ball about 6 minutes to play at the 1-yard line, and Malachi Mays had a goal line stop. I'm reading this off of Mansfield Senior's Twitter, if you're curious. They're telling us Senior High took over at the 1.
There you go. That doesn't surprise me. With that defense that they normally roll out, that's not a big surprise right there. We know the TY Tigers. Those are the type of games, man, that are huge character builders. I believe they're on the road tonight.
Yes, at North Canton Hoover.
They're playing at North Canton Hoover Division II as well, so it's a bigger program. Lots of good stuff going on in the area right now. It sounds like, we'll get to that next week, Aaron. Next week's that game that we're going to be able to avoid that running clock, and we're going to see 2 great programs going at it.
We have our longest drive of the year across the street from the radio station.
Literally.
Field. Yeah,
we could almost walk.
Yeah, one of our favorite spots to watch a game, but also it's a short drive as well. By the way, I keep getting updates on that Shelby Bellevue game. I don't have an update. It's still 45-40, but I was told the way Bellevue scored was a 50-yard screen pass to take that lead. So, as we tear down, we're probably going to find out the final, but that's going to do it here tonight.
Yeah.
From Bob Wine Field in Lucas, thanks to everybody here. Athletic Director Taylor Eisman, of course, at Lucas. Both head coaches, OH Report, Travis Berardi, and the crew were all fantastic here this evening. Thanks to our guy back at the station, Jacob, taking care of us at Radio Lane in Mansfield. Next week, it will be West Holmes at Mansfield Senior on WMAN, and we will team up with the OH Report to bring that to you next Friday night pregame coverage at 6 o'clock, and we'll have coaches' interviews and kickoff at 7 o'clock. Tonight's game on WMAN, powered by Stone Ridge in Lexington, where teamwork is one of their top core values. Join their team at stoneridge.com/careers. Teamwork for the Lucas Cubs. 5 rushing touchdowns, a field goal. Grant Barrett, Zane Finley, Andrew Finello, and others carry the Cubs in the offensive line to a big, big win tonight. Final score, one final time. It was Lucas 38 and Wynford 7. Thanks for joining us as we say good night from Lucas.
Staying here on the OH Report, Travis Berardi back. Want to thank the WMAN crew once again, Eric Willer and Hines, for the great job they have, and we look forward to working with them next week. But I want to give some shout-outs to our sponsors for allowing us to bring you this on the OH Report, live and free. Real quick before we head off, the Lucas Community Center, Town Money Saver, Scout Construction, J&F Construction, Pinhook Meats, and Ohio Valley Manufacturing. And if you didn't have enough of Eric Will, tune in 11:15 live on our YouTube and Facebook channels, the Friday Night Pigskin. He'll be there to break this game down and more. We'll have highlights of the ending, especially of that Shelby Bellevue game. Can the Whippets come back and win it? We have many, many more highlights to show you. But for the OH Report broadcast here, that's going to wrap things up. Like I said, I want to thank the folks at WMAN, Eric Will, Aaron Hines. I want to thank our camera operators tonight, Hayden Gray on the main camera, Nick Jacobs on the sidelines. I want to thank our sponsors once again, and the folks at Lucas High School, Taylor Eisman, for allowing us to do this, having the tree house set up. All year we'll be in the tree house for Lucas games. And most importantly, we want to thank you, the fan, for watching. One more time, your final score, Lucas 38, Wynford 7. And like I said, stay tuned. In about an hour and 40 minutes, hour 45 minutes, we'll have the Friday Night Pigskin live for you. So for now, from Lucas, we are signing off. We'll see you in a bit on the pigskin.